Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody who's here or watching this back. This is for our Being a Book Club. Let me put my phone on silent. And we're discussing Jade War. So I'm Being Daphne, and these are my lovely friends. You want to introduce yourselves? We'll start
Hi, I'm
with
Eliza. From Eliza's Bookshelf. I'm in California. I have this messy room because we're kind of remodeling and we moved everything from the other room to here for now, but
is that the case? How's the remodeling going?
Like kids' blocks here is like a TV.
Yeah, I was looking at that. That's so cute.
It used to be their room. I kicked them out, remember?
Yeah.
Did you get the floor down?
No, but I went to this flooring shop store today just by myself and the kids, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I was like, I'm just gonna leave.
That's funny. All right, Sam, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Sam. Channel is Samantha Donovan. One day I'll put it in the little thing there. I have a booktube channel. I read a lot of books, and I'm currently dying from mosquito bites.
Yes. You put some cream on.
I know. Austin was yelling at me. He's like, I have stuff to put on them so they don't itch so bad. And I'm like, I don't have time today. I have to go to my job.
And then we have Mare with her new background and her new home.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, it's as wide as me, so you probably can't even tell that I'm here. I'm a fair bitch. I'm Meredith from Reading with Merv. I'm Australian. And I'm here to represent the Hilo haters.
No.
There's only one of me, but I'm here.
No.
There was another character you didn't like, right?
Corey.
Am I? Yeah.
Corey.
Oh,
I was like,
Corey.
there was somebody else in the Discord. I read the entire Discord before I left my job. Make sure I knew all the thoughts.
We have Emily. Thank you for joining, and thank you for being like so active in the Discord with us. It's been really fun reading your reactions as you read with us.
Yeah, she finished about 15 minutes after I did.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh.
But I'm glad you guys both finished, because the later half of the book, or like the later third, is the best part, in my opinion. It was kind of like, political stuff, whatever. And then it's like action, action, action,
It was so heartbreaking.
Oh my God. I cried like a baby.
I couldn't take it.
Okay, let's do non-spoilery stuff first. What did everybody end up rating it? I'll go first. I was going to give it like a generous 4 when I was like reading kind of the beginning part. And then the last part, I was like, this last part is 5 stars. So I just went 4.5, to be fair.
Okay.
I almost gave it 5 just because of the endings. What about you, Eliza?
I don't know. My rating system's so stupid, but I gave it a 5.
Go with your heart.
Yeah, it's
I gave it a 5. Even though the beginning was like really slow, I might even say no, it wasn't boring. It was very slow.
Dry. Maybe dry.
It was dry. It was like the first 50% of Babel.
Oh my God. I still haven't continued with Babel. I got
it was
stuck.
very dry, and I was just like, but I still enjoyed it a lot. And the whole book, yes, it was 5 stars, even when I was so angry at Fonda Lee. I still loved it so much. It's like one of those books where I have to savor,
Yeah,
Can't
definitely.
relate.
Can't relate, yeah.
Yeah. Binging heavy.
Yes.
All right, how about you, Mare?
I'm like, I want to hear Sam's rating. Mine is a 4. Gave it a 4.
What do you think I rated it?
Oh, God.
I have no idea. I haven't heard like any of your thoughts.
I know. I've been very like
Horrified.
cool.
2.5.
Not 2.5.
3.
What did you give the first one? Didn't you give the first one 2.5?
I gave the
Oh, no, it
first
was a
one a
generous
generous
3.
3.
Generous 3. So basically a 2.5.
But this time,
Basically, yeah. I would say it's more of like a 2.5. This one is like a 3.5. Like a high 3.
Really?
There was parts where I was like, this could be a 4-star. But the rest of it, I was like, I can't. I can't. I can't give it a 4-star. Most of the book. We'll get
So are
into
you
it,
the only
I'm
one that
sure.
liked
We'll
it
get
more?
into it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because the rest of us still like the first one more.
I still like the first one more. Eliza, do you like the first one
They're
more?
all kind of blending in, guys. I don't know what
Can't
happened.
read ahead.
Well, the cutoff is when Andon leaves. That's the cutoff between the two.
I like them both equally, I think.
Really? Interesting. Let's see what Anne says. She says she loves being in the Discord with us, which is awesome.
I love your thoughts. I love reading and reacting to everything you say.
Yeah, I like knowing what already happened and then having her ping in the middle of the night. I'm like, yes, I need to answer this right now.
You know, you guys were like, chapter 21. I don't remember which one it was, but you guys were all freaking out about chapter, and I was like, I don't remember which one that was. And then I'd see the spoilers, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened.
Chapter I missed.
Exactly. Anne says she rated it 5 stars. The audiobook for me did it. I really enjoyed it. Okay, I checked. I'm on the wait list for the audiobook for Jade Legacy, so maybe I'll be able to listen. Because you guys have been saying.
Oh, did you not listen to any of them?
No, I've been reading with my eyes.
No, she's an
They're
eyeball
really
reader.
good.
Yeah.
It's
She's
the
a real
audiobooks are
reader.
so good. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I'll be the negative
good.
Nelly. The audiobook is okay. I hate his voice for half the characters.
Oh,
Like all of
the
this,
characters.
there's just too many characters, and this man cannot do girls very well. It's aunt.
you know who can't
Oh,
AYT.
yeah.
Her voice in the
Aunt.
audiobook is
Old
terrible.
lady.
Who
I'm
Old
like,
lady.
no, I can't.
That's why when
do-
you said she was hot last time, I'm like, what? She's a
Yeah.
babe. I'm like, why is this babe?
She is a
Oh
babe.
man, I
She's
still
not-
liked it.
I stand by it, but I can't stand her voice in the audiobook.
I mean, did you like Fourth Wing audiobook? I feel like you thought it was
I
okay.
listened to it so loud that I did not notice any of the throat noises except for once, and it's because I knew about it that people
was
had
so
mentioned it that I
bad.
was like, okay. But I was
wasn't
reading
good
it
bad.
so like such a fast speed, I didn't notice. But
I remember
would
you
say
saying
it's
that, so I was like,
great.
maybe I should do it like 3 times speed to see if it gets more, like, you know.
Yeah, you don't notice.
Anyways, I really like the audio. The only guy that I feel like I did not like his narration for was, who was it? Not Morrow, but Yoon Poppy.
What is the character's role? Like, what does he do?
Yes, Poppy Jen.
Poppy Jen Woon,
Woon is Shay's
the
like,
weatherman's
second-hand man.
shadow or something.
Her best friend.
Oh. The spit,
yeah,
the bigger
older
guy,
guy, right?
tougher guy.
I laugh every time they call him Poppy, though. I can't.
Is that the guy that has the hots for her?
I
Yeah,
think he gets married.
Oh, I thought that's his name. I forgot who
Yeah.
it was.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
he
was
gets married
so
and doesn't tell
sad.
her.
I was like heartbroken for him. I was like, poor guy.
An older man? Yes. What's on this, Shay? What are you doing?
Is he a
No,
decade
you
older?
know how she was at the office. She was like probably touching his shoulder, and so he was probably like, you know.
All right,
But she's like,
I have a question
Okay.
oh,
that may or may not be spoilery, depending on what you guys answer. But did your favorite character change from the first book to this book?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Well, my favorite's dead, so
Oh god,
I had no choice but to change.
PTSD. I'm so sorry. Triggering.
I had to change. I had no choice.
he's mentioned a couple times by Shay. He's there
Hey,
in
you
memory.
don't have to
Flashback of him being
change. He's still
wholesome.
there in the beginning.
Even in flashbacks, he has a huge impact.
I don't even know who my favorite character is, to be honest.
Mine's did change.
Who was your favorite character?
Yeah, who's it now?
I liked Hilo in the beginning. Now I really like Andon.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think I would have said I liked Hilo the most the first time, and then maybe I'll say I like Shay the most this time.
Yeah,
She's got
I love
so much
Shay
more
now.
confident. And
I like her as
love
Weatherman.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
for
before she was
me,
badass, but
yes. For me, it was very obvious that Andon was the main character in Jade City, and Shay is the main character in Jade War. And my little brain's like, okay, great, fine. When she's Jade Legacy, it's all her. Her and Burrow, they are the main characters. And then the ending happens, and I was like, okay, they're not the main characters, but it's fine. But
no.
I like Shay more. I like Shay more than Hilo now because he's got questionable morals at times. But I didn't love any of the characters because they just all feel. My issue is more with like the writing style with Fonda Lee. I feel like I'm in the room, I'm not in their head, and it makes me have a hard time connecting to them. So,
Yeah, especially
She
because it's
does a
third
lot
person.
of, is it exposition? Is that what it's called? Where there's just a lot of like telling stuff.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Where she just like is telling you all this stuff for ages. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And it's
can
bouncing
something
heads
happen?
constantly. Where like
Yeah.
you're getting 3 different perspectives in one chapter with like a little break to kind of tell you. And if you're not paying a lot of
And
attention,
nothing
you're
happens.
like, what happened? Why are we with somebody else all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like Emily loved Shay and Jade War. Didn't really care about her in Jade City. Similar to, I thought she was okay in Jade City, but I liked her way more.
She had her one badass moment, and then she had one badass moment again. But she felt more like the main character this time.
Yeah. And then Andon, like, I want to love him more, but like, I don't know. He's just so soft, but then he saved the day all the time. You know?
I think we needed more of him in this book. That was like one of my gripes, was that he's this great character, and same as Wen, which I talked about. And I'm like, you could have done so much more with them, but you just focused on Hilo being a dick. And it's like,
I don't remember much.
Yeah,
we get that he's a dick. Can we like talk about Wen?
It was like all about the politics.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
For being such a character-driven story, it was so politics-focused that I was like, wait, so Andon leaves, and it's like this really big, impactful, emotional moment, and then we're just gonna time jump like it never happened and just not dive into any of the emotions that go around with this. Like, I understand they're gang members and they're all like tough cookies and nothing gets to them, but it still gets to them, and I want to see them
Especially
break down more. Yeah,
it'll be like, it's been 6 months. I'm like, it's been 6 months. Okay, like, I want to know what happened to Andon, and we're not going to go into it. He's sucking dick now. Okay, well, surely more than just that has happened.
Okay, do we want to kind of like talk about some of the relationships that happened in the books?
I'm so down to keep talking characters.
Yeah, so we have like Hilo and Wen. Thoughts on them? They were a little low key this time around. What did we think about Wen going behind Hilo's back to, do her white rat stuff?
I think she deserves that moment of feeling like she's useful, and actually like doing things. At the end, she's like, how do I trust her now that she's betrayed me? And at the end's like, we don't want your forgiveness. We want you to understand. And I was like,
what a line.
Okay, ow. So that part, I was like, yes, everyone else but Hilo gets it. Hilo's so stupid.
I feel like if he was more open and wasn't so overprotective, or maybe traditional about it, they could have been such a good power couple, right?
Right.
They could have been scheming together.
Jade can't
She
affect
had to
her.
go
That is your best weapon.
She had no choice, and she wants to be useful. I'm sort of just like, it was dangerous and you have children, but I'm also just like, I love you, so do it. But she had no choice. Like, it's totally his fault.
But Hilo's an interesting guy, though, because he's very traditionalist in certain aspects with, like, you're either a green bone or you're not. But then in other ways, he's so open to, like, people that are different from him. So, like, with Kekon being very gay-phobic and, like, Stone Eye, like, phobic and all this stuff. He brought in all the Mike family, even though their reputation was, like, tarnished. He married a Stone Eye, and he, like, loves Andon for who he is, whether he's loves women or loves men. You know what I mean? It's just interesting to see those sides of him. But yeah, he definitely, like, she had to go behind his back because he was never gonna let that fly. He's like, you're not a green bone. What are you doing? But then he also wanted her to be in the meetings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he wants her involved, but at a distance. And the one part that really just like angered me, there's so much babies and pregnancies in this book, but it's like warp speed because of the timeline. And one of the things I couldn't stand about him, he was like, well, if she didn't want to have a career, we'd be popping out more kids. And I'm like, sir, let her like have a life outside of children, please. That's really important.
He's a bit misogynistic, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, it's true, but she still works. He doesn't tell her how to live her life when it comes to that,
He's not like controlling and forceful about it, but he's definitely like would rather her not be working interior design right now.
Yeah.
Damn, she's actually working 2 jobs because she has to put up a front.
Yeah.
That's what I
Okay,
mean.
and
She's
then
such an amazing character, and we just like barely get any of her. Like she disappears, and then she's like
Oh my
doing
God.
this epic thing. I'm like, why couldn't we have more development of this?
I
Right?
agree.
We don't
She's
get
like
her.
the most interesting character, and you're just like, she's just having kids the whole book. Like,
Yeah, and we don't get
doing
her
nothing.
perspective until about 430 pages in, and it's for a traumatic thing to happen. I'm like,
Oh my god. We'll get to that.
you're gonna make
What
it.
are we
you're gonna
talking
take
about?
We'll get to
You're
that.
gonna wait
Yeah,
this
I think
long
I know what you're talking
for
about.
her to be a player in the story when I love her.
Yeah.
And it's just for something like a big plot device. Like she deserves better than that. She should have been
Yeah.
there more.
She's a great character, and it's
I'm
just
so sad about this
Wasted.
book. I'm remembering things now.
You're remembering? Oh my god. The
Welcome
shape
back.
part made me cry, but we'll jump into that. Let's get through the relationships.
Oh.
Oh wait, here, Emily.
Oh,
has
you know
something.
what? I actually liked Shay and Morrow.
Yeah, hold on. Em says when did what she thought was right, and I'm all in for her decision. I hope we get to see her more in
Yeah,
Legacy.
me
I mean, the
too.
way it ended, I'm like really not
know.
that optimistic. You know, I'm like, I just want her to be healthy and like not paralyzed.
we don't know
Yeah.
like really much about it either. Like we don't know
Oh my
We
gosh.
haven't done
she's gonna be
anything.
okay. Like it's very open ended.
I want
Yeah,
to
like,
talk
she can't
about all
talk.
the main traumatic events all together. So I want to save that.
Okay, right,
section.
cool. Keep us in
Let's
line.
talk about Shay and Mara's relationship. When
I
he
like
got
them.
introduced into the story, I was like, "Oh, this is so cute!" And then I was like, "If this man hurts Shay, I'm gonna kill him."
And there was
Oh
me
my
texting you guys like, how dare Shay get a romance right now when I need more Gwen?
I know.
I didn't like the
Well,
fact that he was always like, "Oh no, you go, Mary. You go, Mary."
No, my comment's just stupid. I was talking to Eliza how I kind of ship her with Eight Mother.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
what? You what?
That's all I've been saying.
You
I
ship?
think I said
Every
that to you guys
time
in like the
they
first 50 pages.
Every time they're meeting up at the temple and they're
The
like,
energy is palpable.
yeah, I was like,
That
so
fight,
are you
that
guys,
fight
like,
was
making
so
out?
gay. That fight, they were. Come on.
I still feel it whenever they're talking, and
How
you'll
old is
feel
that?
it too if
That's
you
like
listen to the
40
audio.
or 50, right? She's gotta be like 50s.
Well, she's
I
like,
don't
I like an
think
age gap,
so.
okay?
I think
it's
she's
hot.
probably like in her 30s, maybe 40s.
No,
Because she's
young
a
in the
grandkid.
art.
no. Art is
Anyway.
older.
It's young in the art.
If you guys are calling
here for
Ice
it.
old and she's in her 30s, okay, let me just exit the room.
Sam's barely legal, okay? No, I'm
I'm
teasing.
thinking she's in her 40s, 50s.
I think she's in her 40s or 50s.
She's a different generation.
She's at least 10 years older than Shay.
Oh,
I did
she's
not
like
read it
it.
that way at all, but that's a funny view. I like it.
Just you
good,
wait.
okay?
Third book is gonna happen.
Honestly, it should. They just
Well,
make
that guy,
sense.
the guy.
That's
that
how
has
they're
the
gonna
twins,
like
he's also
all
older.
unite under one clan.
I just
Oh,
wish I was an
marriage,
older
that makes
person,
sense.
you know.
I just never trusted
But I
Mara when
didn't
he
like
was like,
Mara.
I'm
I didn't
like,
like him.
he's like, I'm not a clan loyalist and all this stuff and like just his political view on things. I'm like, this is so against what Shay has to live that like this is never gonna work.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I didn't know how he was gonna fit in with everything, but I guess we saw how he did.
I know. And
It
then
felt
once,
a bit like too obvious. Like this is her moment where she's like, "Which do I pick? Like, do I stay loyal to the clan or have my own life?" And it felt just like a bit too much. Like he came over and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to talk about all the ways that I don't like your family," and it's like, they need to be so obvious. Like, you know what's happening? I thought he was like a bit over the top.
Okay,
And he
just
also
so we
sucked.
all know, Google does not tell me how old she is.
Really?
Yeah, there's no information on the
Don't look it
internet.
up because I saw spoilers. So
Don't look
Well,
it up.
it was just like
Okay.
wiki
Okay.
forums and stuff where it was just like, oh yeah,
It's like,
yeah, I was
Like
trying to
Mara.
find her age and I got spoiled for something. So I don't
You
know.
Oh, no.
did?
You just
Okay.
never know. Okay.
okay. Well, I didn't get
All
that
right.
deep into it.
yeah, Em agreed. She says it was never gonna work either.
Yeah.
But okay, what other? Oh, okay. Then we got to talk about Andon and Corey. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Did
Meredith?
we love it? I loved it
Meredith?
at first.
Meredith, give me your thoughts. Tell me everything.
Just the fact that Andon's like, no, like, stop, hang on, and he still goes down on his dick. I'm like, okay, consent is a thing, Corey. Please have consent. He's
Yeah.
literally like, wait, hang on. And then he's just like, nah.
I
I'm like,
know.
okay.
I didn't even notice
Instantly, I was
that.
like, I don't like this guy. That's it.
You didn't like
And
him
he's
right
like-
off the bat.
Yeah. I liked him at first. I was like really into it. I was like, yes, he's going to get his romance. And then that happened.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It felt very like Corey was using the relationship when Andon's like, so what am I to you? Like, are you sleeping with other people? He's like, well, there was like one time I got drunk. It was a mistake though. And I make out with a lot of people though. It's like, okay.
I didn't like
sorry.
that either.
poor
Yeah.
Andon.
No, that was bad. I thought it was like kind of sweet in the beginning. Even if Corey wasn't the best guy, at least Andon was experiencing like his first love
Yeah,
and his
yeah, yeah.
first,
Yeah.
you know, physical intimacy with a man and like all this stuff. Like I was happy for him to like get those experiences. But yeah, Corey was just like, he just like Andon deserved so much better.
Corey's a
Like, how
fucking
are you
dude,
just
bro.
seeing him every 4 to 6 weeks and like not defining the relationship and you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
He's an
he's a,
F-boy, okay?
yeah, he's a total frat dude.
And then the way they broke
Frat.
up, the way the dad knew the whole time, I was shocked.
Oh yeah.
And
When
that
they
was
did break
the
up,
whole
he was a jerk too. What did he say? Like cuss him out or something?
Because
No, it wasn't that extreme. It was
Andon
like,
came to him about the Ron thing, needing
Yeah.
Ron to do this assassination attempt. And the Pillar of South Trap was like, I don't want to do that, but I will if you stop seeing my son.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, T.
but like he's also not wrong. Like his son does need to grow up, and like I understand because this is very like traditional Asian influence, so it makes sense that he's like, no, he's head of the household, like he has to carry on this legacy. But at the same time, he's not wrong. Corey's like so immature.
He's
Like
so
doesn't
immature.
want
He
to
is.
like, get it.
He's going to law school though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I've met people in law school. They're the biggest party goers.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I like at that age, everyone's so immature. You know.
Yeah.
But Andon is very mature for his age.
21.
Yeah, you're
He's still a
right.
grown man, but still.
Yeah,
Some
when
people
I had to
just-
hear about Andon jerking himself off, I was not as uncomfortable as the first time. Because he's now
I
a
don't even
legal
remember
adult.
that.
Oh my god, I was so uncomfortable. I was like, that's a child.
I must have like gone, I don't want to read
Don't
about that and
remember
just
that.
skimmed it.
Yeah, no, it was fine in this. Well, it was still weird in this one because he was like, it's just in my hand as I'm thinking about this guy. I should call him.
Oh
And I'm
my
like,
god, I don't even
I don't remember that.
I remember that in this book. I don't remember anything in the first book.
it happened twice. It's happened in each book. And I don't know why, but the first time in Jade City it happened, he was a minor because he was in school. And that was happening. And this time he was alone thinking this kind of boyfriend. But he's 21.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't even remember those scenes.
The immaturity of Corey though, when Andon called him to be like, hey, I don't think we should talk to each other
Oh my
anymore.
god, yeah,
Yeah.
fuck you, Islander. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh yeah. See, that's what he said.
I get it,
I
we're
was like,
hurt, but
I was like, I don't like him.
Yeah, he's a tosser.
Okay. Any other questions you guys want to bring up, or do you want to dive into the trauma? We could talk about the politics, I guess, since it's like a major aspect.
well, you guys we're all chatting about kids. How do you feel about kids being involved in the story?
I think it's logical. We can
I'm
talk
assuming
about.
it's setting up for the next book, right? Since the next book covers like generations.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Maybe.
excited to
Like it
see.
seems really odd in this book, but I guess it's going to be setting up for the next book. I thought it was a
That
bit
makes
weird and out of
sense.
place.
Yeah, I was like, why are there
Yeah.
so many children and why are they so important to this story?
Mhm.
Like they're not
More of the
giving
kids.
me
Are there
much.
3 kids?
Yes.
3.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
technically,
Yeah, there was so many. I'm like, who
she's
is
pregnant
this child?
again. Was she?
Really?
Wait, she had a third kid, didn't she? Wasn't she pregnant for the third time?
It was the nephew, her son,
I
Gwen's son, and then
swear.
she had a daughter.
Okay,
The
so this
timelines
is where I
bounce too much.
This is where you missed
So
it.
when I did that like 8 chapter skip from my Libby, it went from like her being pregnant to all of a sudden there's 2 kids. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess she had 2 kids.
Yeah.
And then they started talking about like when they found Nico and got him from somewhere. I was like, okay, I guess they'll just slowly reveal where they got Nico.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was so confused.
That's fair. That's like a good chunk of the story.
Yeah.
I was really mad with Lan's ex-wife though, because she wrote that letter to Lan from the first book, basically wanting to come back, and then, well, I mean, I guess she has her own reasons, and like it's valid, I guess, because it's been so long. She made a life there.
Yeah.
And she found out Lan was dead through like the news, like nobody told her, you know.
Which she was also like exiled basically from the family, so they didn't really owe her that in the same way.
It's like you understand why she was treated the way she is because of how they are, but like because I'm not like that, I'm like she was treated awfully.
Yeah.
But I understand why they did because of the way that they are, which we see in this book so much, the negative ways that this culture plays out, whereas the first book it was a lot more positive, but in this one it's like, well, they do awful things for pride and for family, and is it worth it?
Yeah, it's very traditional.
Because I'm not like that, I read this and I'm like, poor Lan's ex-wife. Yeah, I'm like, what the it's her child, okay?
Yeah.
What the hell? And he's much safer with her than fucking Hilo. But anyway.
Yeah, because he's going to bring the Greenbone life, and the Greenbone life is so deadly. And like in the first book, you're just like in the bubble of Kekon, right? So like this is a fantasy. You're like, okay, this is just how the world works. This is how I accept it as the reader. But then when it expands and the rest of the world isn't like that, you're like, okay, wait, actually Kekon's like really effed up. Like they're psychopaths over there.
Yeah, but you also got to remember that it's these two clans that are just going at each other's throats, and they've established very quickly that aunt. I say aunt. I don't remember. Ait.
Yeah, it's Ait.
They've established that Ait has killed her own foster brother, and children are not off limits. So if somebody found out that Lon had an heir, I can understand Hilo being like, yeah, that's a concern because we wouldn't know and wouldn't be able to protect, and then he could get murdered in the streets as they're expanding. So I can see his like argument. I don't think he had to do it quite the way that it played out, but I understand him wanting to have some custody.
Yeah, for sure. M says, yeah, I was gobsmacked when he just killed Lan's ex and took Nico. I was like, okay, he's got to kidnap the kid. He's got to. But like, I was like, the woman is going to make this so difficult, And then he was like, you know what? I'm going to tie off these loose ends by murdering her. You know?
Well, yeah, but like the guy, like the boyfriend, just chill.
Oh, they took him out too, right?
Did he die? Oh, I missed that then.
I was know.
So like,
he got murdered too.
Gotcha.
He left someone else to murder him, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought he was
someone
just watching him, and I missed that part.
No, he was at work.
Yeah. Hi, Rose. Thanks for jumping in. Rose said, I got the feeling she only wanted to come back if she could be with the current Horn. Like she wanted to get back with Lan. Probably. I mean, maybe. She was just like, she was not cut out for the Greenbone life, in my opinion. What was her name again? I don't even remember. But I
feel bad. I don't remember what her name was.
There's too many characters. There are way too many characters, and it's so hard to remember like which ones are going to be important and which ones aren't. Her name was like
Enyi or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow, Liza, that was really good.
I remember some things.
Like, I don't know plot, but I don't names.
But I didn't get that feeling that she wanted to be with the current Horn. You mean make Ken?
No, with Lan.
She doesn't come across very smart though, right? Like she probably was just like, I just want him to know that he has a son.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Not thinking about what would happen if people found out. You know,
she's like, I'm still in a relationship with somebody else, but like, I'll put it out there.
I'll let him know, you know, because she doesn't seem very smart. So
yeah, and her boyfriend
like
she's
potentially money. Yeah. Potentially.
I don't remember exactly what the boyfriend said in the conversation with Hilo, but I just remember cringing really hard. Like, dude, are you trying to get Hilo to kill you right now? You're just being really ignorant. I was like, you need to step back.
Yeah.
And says they set the house on fire
in that world when you're not on.
Well, what do you think is going to happen when Nico grows up and then he like finds out what really happened?
I don't think he will.
I didn't think about that.
He's going to join the mountain clan.
Oh, there's that. I didn't even think about that. That's going to be really painful.
Well, does Shane know? Like, I feel like it's a very small group of people that actually know what happened.
I think Shay knows.
She knows. Shay
Okay.
definitely knows.
And
See,
then
I don't know if they would tell him though.
I don't think they're gonna tell him. I think he's gonna
Secrets
find out.
always come out,
He's
guys.
gonna find out.
That's true. It is fiction, and people can't keep secrets.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll find out. We'll have to wait and see.
But then they're always teaching them to like look out for your sibling, like, you know, we look out for our sibling and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and then try and
hopefully
kill
their
him.
bonds will be tight.
Okay, but then like again, like you guys, some of you guys are hating on Hilo, but then at the same time, he's like, Nico's only gonna call me uncle. He can call Len mom, but like he needs to know who his real father is. Like stuff
Half
like
of these-
that.
Oh yeah.
So endearing.
Half of these tabs are me going, "Oh, Hilo,"
Right.
because like, I'm sorry, if a man is gonna like have his jacket over his shoulder and then like button the top 2 buttons on his shirt and sit down, like I'm going to sweat.
Like any man or Hilo?
Well, I mean, a hot man,
Yeah,
especially if it's him. Hilo is hot, so I like those parts.
Em says she doesn't think it'll ever come out either, and that Shay knows. And then she knew what actually happened, but they say that his parents were killed. Oh yeah, the house fire cover up. I forgot about that.
Oh my god, so she doesn't. I thought she like knew. So she doesn't
No,
know.
Shay?
More reason to love her. Because that was one of my Shay. But now I'm like, okay. I have a guilty-free conscience now.
What, that she knew? You thought that she
Shay
knew?
knows.
I thought she knew that like he murdered them.
I thought she did. Maybe she doesn't.
I don't know.
Well, it sounds like they were just like the house. Oh, but I guess she knew they set the house on fire.
Yeah, I think they'll tell Nico that the
not
cover up is
stupid.
that they'll die,
Yeah.
that they died in a fire.
Did he have to take Nico?
Yes,
Hilo is all about family. You know what I
all
mean?
about family. They need an heir, and also he was potentially could have been in danger at some point if he was ever found out by the Mountain Clan. So I get it.
Rose says somehow the fist will let it slip. Maybe. I don't even know I don't even know which fist took him out. Didn't the pillar come with
A
him? Wasn't it
non-important
one of Mike brothers?
Person. No,
Yeah,
like a-
one of the brothers was there.
Was
right?
it? I remember
I
somebody
don't know.
picked him up and he was like, I thought you would come with a child, but I also didn't expect it like this. And like that was that. And that guy was also like,
Yeah.
put the kid in a freaking car seat in the back, you dummy. So
I
Okay.
really like the Make brothers.
You didn't?
yeah.
No, I really like. the
Oh
Make
yeah, I
brothers.
like them so much more in this book. They felt much more distinguishable.
Yes.
Oh,
They're good like
poor-
side characters, you know? Because I feel like some of the other more side characters you're just left wanting more as they're like good, you know? They're like good side characters.
Yeah.
I'm not like left going, but I want to know more about the brothers. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
good.
You know enough.
They're good supporting roles. Whereas a lot of them like are fighting for the spot and you're like, I want more of this one, I want more of that one, but I'm good with them. They're like good side characters. Well, side character.
Yeah, it was nice because like we saw them through Hilo and
Sorry.
like his memories and his
You know what
connection
I
to them, but
wish?
also with Wen
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
being the sister, like we could see more of them without having to constantly be with them. And then once they had different roles, I was able to tell them apart because I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Horn,
Yeah.
Pillar
Yeah.
man.
Pillar Man, or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Doesn't the pillar man calls his guys what, like fifth, and then the pillar man was calling them something new. I forget though.
There's so many new roles.
It was an interesting term though. I liked it.
that was a great thing about the start of this book, though, is that it has like
Oh, does
all
it
of the
have-
All the
Characters?
characters, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This
I
was
used that
so helpful.
much.
I did
to,
not
like-
look at that like at all.
There's so many people.
Ugh.
There's
I used
can't
it so
do-
much.
large casts. They really bother me, especially a large cast with names that are not native to America. I'm like, I don't know how to
Yeah,
pronounce
native
these
names.
without the audiobook. I'm not going to be able to remember them because they have 3 names. And so
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
hard when there's such a big cast.
Oh my gosh! You know what I should have done this whole time? Look at this damn map.
Oh, I was looking at the map for sure. I needed the map.
This
I was
map
like,
is very useful for this book.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
looked at
is.
that map a lot.
Hickon!
Yeah.
Egerton!
Now it's like, oh, this is a world, not just Asia. I understand now.
Yeah. The way Ken died, though, I was like, when Wen went to the park, I was like, something's about to happen. We do not just need to be chilling in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does she all of a
Something
sudden
about to
have a
happen.
perspective?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
It's
that's
still
also why I
giving
love.
April.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, it still surprised me.
Oh, it surprised, like, how it happened and who died and, like, how sudden it was shocked me. But at the same time, I knew something was going to happen.
That was the only scene that I felt emotion.
That's the thing, too. That's what I really like about
You
Fun.
felt emotion
Right.
when Andon jacked off, though, because you were disgusted. So that's a lie.
Okay. It's the only emotion that was sad. It was the
No.
first emotion that I was like, wow,
How
this
is that
is like
possible? How
heartbreaking.
is that possible? I was bawling my eyes out at the other scene.
I did not feel
What
a
other scene?
You
single
felt
thing.
more.
I thought you liked Wen, though.
I do, but
Well,
I
that's
also knew
also-
that it wasn't going to be what it like. I knew nothing was going to come of it,
No.
which is unfortunate. But I went into that entire scene knowing both of them would be fine at the end.
How'd you
Fine.
know that?
Wow.
I didn't. I'm shocked they
Bob's
like
been
were
killing
as
people
good as
left
they
and
were.
right.
Name one main character that's died besides Lan. It's always a plot device.
Well,
It's always a
I
plot
thought she was
device
gonna
to
die.
kill off a character,
I
and
thought she was gonna die. I thought
I thought she
Yeah.
did
I
die.
knew she wouldn't because she's too important to the story right now because there's unresolved feelings and who knows, they might start Jade Legacy just like, sorry, she's in a coma, she's gone. Too much oxygen to the brain or whatever. But yeah, no, I went into that fight fully like I knew Daphne cried, so I was like, it's gonna be emotional, and I fully was like, she's gonna be fine. And then she died, and I was like, this feels like the fantasy like resurrection trope because I've read that too many times, and I was like, it doesn't feel
oh, you're good.
emotional
you're
or
good.
impactful.
I felt that way about Lan's death, and then Lan actually did die. You know what I mean? I was like, she's gonna be fine.
I went into that with all of your guys' reaction. I knew how you felt about it. I knew how it was gonna play out with Lan.
Yeah.
I'm still not over
I'm
it.
so sorry.
So,
We need a code name for
I'm
that
like,
scene.
I know there's a new book here with like all this awful stuff, but I'm still not over Lan dying. Okay,
Aw.
That's fair.
I'm still sad.
maybe his Nico will be like Lan when he grows up.
You know what? I felt
feel
more
like Andon is-
heartbroken in Jade City than in here. Well,
Really?
that makes sense.
No, I think I was
Did you
more
say so?
prepared for the death in Jade City than I was for the almost death of Wen.
Yeah, for
And
me, it
Ron
was,
too. I really liked Ron.
yeah, that one was a little sad. I was like, we're really gonna introduce this man and then kill
Oh,
him, and then have
really?
no emotion from Andon, who knew this man for 2 years, almost 3, and we're no emotions. Like it's just,
think
oh,
that's
he died, and
true.
we're moving on. I was like, okay.
I think that's a product of listening to it really fast in a short amount
I
of time.
don't think so because like it happens, and he felt emotion in the moment, and then it kind of just like glossed over everything that happened after because the timeline had to move forward so that we
Yeah.
knew what happened with Wen and her body getting transported. So it didn't really like the funeral was about his relationship with Corey. It didn't really, and it didn't
That's
express
fair.
sadness for this death of a guy he has known for 3 years.
That's fair.
And I was like, okay, he would be a puddle.
Yeah.
I barely remember it, so it probably was glossed over.
But also, like, Andon is so used to death. He grew up around so much death. He lived through an entire war that lasted like 2 years or something in the city. Like, he's not
Maybe a
phased.
coping
And Ron
mechanism.
is the most green character in Espenia. And just like the pillar said, like the South Trap pillar said, like, Ron was never going to die a peaceful death. Like, he's too green to die. a
Yeah.
peaceful death.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's why. Like, this is just the way that the life is. And there was another really good quote, and I don't think I highlighted it because I was trying to find it. Something about, like, I think it was in Andon's perspective where just because you know it's going to rain, just because you know you could die, you're not going to change your plans. If you're
Yeah,
really-
just because it was, it was like, just because you know the weather might turn doesn't mean you're gonna change your plans when it rains.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah, I remember that quote. I was like,
That was a
okay,
really
the
good one.
quotes slap. The writing is good. I don't like the writing style, but I like the quotes.
Yeah, I think the writing is spectacular, honestly.
I was really scared when one of the kids swallowed Jade.
Yes, I wanted to go back to that too.
Yeah.
I was like,
That was a very
damn.
pivotal scene.
I was so scared.
Well,
So that's his actual son. That's Hilo's
Yeah.
son.
yes.
Yeah. What's his
I
name?
thought it was Rue.
Rue?
One of those. But I thought it was very interesting how they're like, we were just playing, and then it's like, oh no, the Mike brothers did that to the kid and like showed him exactly how that death happened. So then they were reenacting it in a play way when they found the Jade,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, these kids need therapy.
They're playing.
They're 3 years old. They need
the
therapy.
equivalent of not locking up your guns at home.
Yeah,
Hilo?
but just like maybe don't expose.
I'm not American.
children.
I don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, God bless. But it's one of those things. I was like, I understand that your kids are being raised in a gang mentality. Maybe don't introduce them to death so laxed so soon, because kids don't process quite the same way, and they're not going to think I'm doing a murder right now.
Yeah, man.
I guess it explains why Hilo's the way he is. He was probably raised the same way.
Yeah.
Probably.
He came out pretty good. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, he is a stellar dude.
Ruthless.
Emily says, finding out he's a Stone Eye, I was surprised with Hilo's reaction.
Yeah, I love his reaction.
Yeah. He's like, that's
I
why
knew
I
he'd be
love
okay
Hilo
with it.
so much. But also,
+1 in the Hilo.
Huh?
+1 in the Hilo.
Yeah, +1.
Yeah,
But the doctor was scared. The doctor thought Hilo was going to be really.
Doctor was going to get killed.
Yeah.
I knew he'd be fine because he loves Wen. Like he's, he's fine
That's
with
true,
it.
that's
Like,
true.
I wasn't shocked at all.
I think Wen was more
That's
upset.
why he has Lan's child.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I think Gwen was upset
He's
because
worried
he was
exists.
guilty.
that was the whole plot point. That's why that kid even exists, is so that there would be an heir, because I think Fonda Lee went into this being like, obviously the genetics are going to pass down, so the whole like, oh no, what are they going to do thing is going to be that Hilo can't have a traditional heir.
Yeah.
Oh man.
At least it was set up
You
in
gotta
good
write
one.
a-
It's not something she just popped in.
Sam, you got to write all your predictions down for Jade Legacy.
Yeah, you
You've
gotta.
been seeing all the things for Jade War.
I'll try. I know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get surprised as easily in fantasy.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd say I was surprised. I was just kind of like, I wasn't trying to guess anything. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to figure
the
it out.
same. I just vibe.
You know, it's funny with thrillers. I just vibe. With fantasy, I'm like, oh, I see it coming.
I'm not looking for anything. I'm just like, we're just going along with the story. Okay, well,
Also,
go
no,
ahead.
we're going back. We totally brushed over the only death that like had an emotional impact on me. I was so upset about that because
Make?
Well, they were at the park and it was like this nice day, and then boom, the car explodes, and I was like, that really sucked. And for a second, I didn't realize that it was her brother in the car, and I thought it was just like some throwaway character, and then I was like, ooh, that's her brother. That really sucks. And then it was like they were hiding in a store office, with the kids trying to entertain them, and then Hilo barges in, and I was like, oh, okay, now I feel emotion. Like this, once she broke down, I feel like that's every scene in any movie when like the character breaks down after being so tough, that's when I'm like, oh, dang it, it got me.
It was rough.
Okay, now we can move on. I just needed to
I felt for that too, but for me it happened so suddenly, and I love the way Fonda writes because I feel like I'm in an action movie. Like I'm not reading words on a page anymore. Like I'm seeing everything that's happening. So that's why with the gangster, or like, what were they calling them? The crew attack.
Mm-hmm.
I was so upset because I'm literally seeing these plastic bags and the zip ties. Like it was traumatizing. Like it was a horrible thing to have to visualize.
Yeah.
And knowing how strong Ron was and how he couldn't get out of it and like jerking around and like dying was so traumatizing.
Oh God.
And then when being like, do you know who I am? Like, and having so like being scared, but also being so brave about it. And just saying her like oath over and over and over again. And like, that was so beautifully written in my opinion.
Yeah.
That was insane. I was crying so hard. And I thought Landon was going to get the Jade and like kick everybody's ass. I didn't think.
I keep waiting for that.
I know the whole time he was like, I can't do it. It's against my morals. And I'm like, bruh, have a badass moment and be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Got saved. I was like, oh, they're just going to get saved. And then he used his channeling because, again, the channeling always saves the day. You know?
I keep waiting for him to have like a badass moment, but it's okay. He doesn't want to do it. That's fine.
I think he's gonna die in Jade Legacy, to be honest.
They're all gonna die. They're all
gonna
dying. I don't see any of them surviving. Like the kids, I don't know, but like if it's generations, they're gonna die like epically or of old age. Like they're dead.
Ait,
You know what I mean?
Ait is
That's
for
how I
sure
feel.
gonna die.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. Like, Ait now has a new heir. My dogs are going ballistic, but Ait has a new heir for Jade Legacy to set up. But also, this book, this entire series does that thing of making you feel like there is no hope for the characters we're following, because every time they were like, checkmate, like it never played out for them, and every single time they lost. Like they never got like a big leg up on the Mountain Clan.
Yeah,
and I was just like, there's no hope. They're gonna
I do
fail.
have a response to that. But first I'll read what I was gonna call Emily's comment. That scene was absolutely traumatizing. That's why I was like crying when they put the bag over one's head. I was thinking he's going to die. It was very emotional. I blocked myself reading that section. I like put it on my phone. And then I was like, I need my real camera. Like shit is happening.
I didn't cry.
I didn't.
I cried like embarrassing.
I never
like
cried
a
reading.
robot.
So.
You've been wanting a good sob at a book though, so
and
that's good.
I got it.
I've been wanting a good cry too. I did not get it.
Damn. Were you multitasking while you were doing it? Maybe you were like busy enough to like cope. Me, I'm just sitting there at 3 a.m, just like.
No. I was totally ignoring my kids. I was focusing on this.
Oh yeah. Oh damn. I don't know what else is gonna get you to cry, Eliza.
I know.
I don't typically cry at fantasy, so I would say pick up
Maybe
literary
you're
fiction or
Maybe
maybe
you're
romance if romance does it for you.
And then okay, so backtracking before the crew ambush, what did we think about the assassination of the Yuwen guy, Sapunyo? Is that how you say his name? And how they had to kind of switch their plan last minute. Sub and Wen going behind Hilo's back.
I thought
I understand now. I was like, who are we talking about?
I thought that this was when Andon was gonna have his badass moment. I thought, like, you know, Ron, him being like the greenest of green over here. I still thought that was like, I don't know, 50% of green bone in. Where are we going? Kikon, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I thought like even the strongest there was nothing compared to wherever. So I thought Ron was gonna mess it up, and then Andon would have to come in and save the day and use his Jade, but did not go that way.
And that's why I think Andon couldn't be my favorite character, because he just doesn't step up enough.
He's not really like it. Yeah, it's very interesting because he's like, I really want to be back, but I don't want to be a green bone, but I really want to like be home, and I get that, but like he just refuses to understand like the price of this industry that he like wants to be a part of, but not be a part of at the same time. He's too young to make this decision.
Yeah,
like he just needs to be away from it.
It just sucks because he's like the top of the class. And he has so much potential.
Yeah. That entire end of the book, I was waiting, like my brain has been so like high fantasy that I was waiting for him to just do something magical without any change. It was just like superhero moment, and it didn't happen. I was like, well, this is underwhelming now.
Well, he saved Wen.
It felt underwhelming from what I was thinking of.
Would have been better if she came out unscathed. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Hilo slapping Shay?
Oh my god, I was pissed.
Enraged me. I was like,
that. I love that she kicked him straight in the fucking chest and threw him across the room, though.
Yeah.
As if Wen has no agency. Like, oh, it's your fault. And it's like, she chose to do that. It's not Shay's fault. She's always the punching bag because she's not what he wants. And then he fully slaps her. I'm like, I hate this man. He is a child.
Yeah.
Your wife has agency, okay? She made that decision.
Yeah.
Why are you punching Shay? You're mad at your wife?
Yeah.
And you slap your sister. I was like,
But at the same time, Shay's the one that makes the calls.
Well,
Shay's the one that said, "Be here at this
Yeah.
time. We're doing it."
She
Yeah.
gave her
But he does have
choice,
some
but-
culpability.
here's the
That's
thing.
the word.
If they really wanted to do it without Shay, they could have. I think the three of them would have figured it out anyway. I think Shay just made it run more smooth for them.
You mean when?
I don't think Andon would have done it.
No, I think when and Andom together would have figured it out. Like, I think since she stepped in, it probably, like, she thought of a plan, at least half the plan, and then Shay kind of got the rest
like
of it.
Shay's
But
still
she
at
knew
fault
she
as
was,
well, but
yeah, she was like, I'm the secret power. I'm the weapon. I can carry this in and it'll go undetected. So she knew that going into it and planned it. I think Shay just made calls easier for them.
Emily agrees with you, Meredith. Agents.
and I think it's very telling that in a moment like that, your true self will come out. Like there's no fart-assing. And his instinct is that Wen wouldn't make a decision herself. And it must have been Shay.
Yeah.
And that's who he is. It
Mhm.
feels like wrong to me. I'm like, why is that? I don't know. I was just like, man. But I understand he was upset. But I'm just like, slapping your sister, really? Like,
Yeah, slapping your sister and then screaming at the children for, like,
Oh,
Making a
that
ruckus?
was so
Such
sad.
a child.
Yeah.
I can't
my God,
do it.
That's traumatizing too because Nico came in and was like hugging Shay, and he's like, I don't know if I should leave.
yeah.
You know? That's so sad.
Okay, but to give Hilo some grace, his wife almost died. Okay, I would be yelling at everybody.
Yelling is fine. Hitting is a different thing.
Hitting is too
And
far.
blaming other people like your wife can't make decisions. Like, why did you make her do that? It's like, I didn't. Like, I
Yeah.
don't control your wife. She's
It
a
screams
person.
misogyny.
She's not your
Yeah.
beautiful thing that you control and has your babies. She's a person.
Also, did he?
That's why she went and did it dangerously, because you don't understand.
Did
Yeah.
Hilo have the whole story at that time when he hit Shay?
No.
No.
Not
He
really.
knew. She went
Just
in and she
jumps.
was, well, whatever Shay was able to convey through her emotions of the moment, but she was like, so they did it. He's dead. It went south.
Oh,
and then he got
God.
really upset.
He told him about how long Wen has been working with her after he hit her a couple times.
Yeah.
Emily says Shay never pushed her into it, I guess, but knew that it was the only choice for the clan, so went along with it. Again, I'm gonna give you some. Shay has more responsibility. You know, Wen definitely has to choose, but Shay still has
like Shay's
responsibility because
still
Shay's the
at
one
fault.
that's like, okay, if you want to do it, this is what I want you to do.
You know what, too?
For Hilo, that's enough for him to be mad at Shay. Even if Hilo can understand conceptually that Wen can make decisions, Shay's the one is that like
She approved it.
enables
Yeah.
it. She's like, I'm approving this is what you're gonna do, and Hilo's
Yeah.
pissed about it.
But like, imagine if
Putting
he
also-
slapped
Wen.
Wen.
What?
Imagine if he slapped Wen, right? No
Oh,
one would be
would
happy with
never.
it. But because
He
it's
would
Shay.
never.
Yeah, but because
Yeah,
it's Shay, it's
Shay.
fine. You know what I mean?
But
It's like
Shay's
nothing.
also
You
a
wouldn't
green
slap your
bone.
wife. You know?
Shay's also a green bone and Wen's not. And Hilo draws a very
They're
firm
still both
line.
women. They're still both women, right? So it's like,
I mean, granted, if he also hit
I'm
Andon,
not
I would
saying
also
he
be
should.
upset.
I'm just saying
yeah, I'm just like, what the
The
fuck,
difference.
man?
It's more just like
Yeah,
when
that
you're
sucked.
angry and upset, maybe don't hit people. Learn
No.
to have emotional intelligence. You are kind of a leader.
yes. Hilo's very emotional driven man.
Like,
Rash.
I don't know,
He was
hit
leader,
a
but
pot.
I don't
Hit a
think he
pot
was
plant.
ever. I mean, he was kind of thrust into this leadership position, right? So I don't think he is
Well, even
that
with
great a
Horn,
leader. I think somewhere in the book it said like, "Oh, you are a good wartime pillar." You know, like specifically
Yeah.
for wartime. In general, you probably wouldn't be a good pillar.
mm,
That's because he's like very emotional and But then, yeah, he's probably like really just pissed at Shay too because that's his weatherman. He's supposed to like trust her and know everything that's going on, and he doesn't. No.
Yeah.
But
Rachel
yeah, no
commented,
hitting women or
no
people.
hitting women. Rachel says, I think it was easier for Hilo to believe that Wen didn't make that decision on her own. Whatever anger he was feeling at Wen, it was easier for Hilo
Yeah.
to blame Shay because it hurts more coming from Wen.
That's true.
Definitely.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's very true.
And also, they're like siblings.
Jay's the
so they're
punching
always
bag of the
squabbling.
family.
They're always fighting.
Yeah.
They're
Pretty
always
much.
fighting.
She's just a punching bag.
Yeah,
She really
literally.
is.
Literally.
Poor Shay.
But I like how she stood up for herself, how she was going to be like, okay, you fired me as the weatherman, I'll just leave. But she's like, you know what? Forget that. Like, I put in so much work in this position. I do so much for this clan. She had an abortion
Oh my
for the
god.
betterment of the clan. You know what I mean? She lost the love of her life. She killed the love of her life with
By
her
the
own
way, did we
hand
gloss over
for this
that?
clan.
Yes, we did. We'll get to it.
Okay, so at the end, he was like saying, "You are no longer my weatherman. You can leave, right?" And I was like, "Are you gonna banish another
I almost
person?"
threw the book at that point.
Yeah,
I was so mad.
me too. I was like, "You are not banishing her to Aspenia." Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I do give her so much respect though for the hard decisions she had to make. Like I know Mara, we talked about this a little bit on Discord about her deciding to have the abortion and stuff and how like it was really obviously it's really sad, but her logic for me, if that was her priority was the clan and being the weatherman and like keeping Morrow out of it, like it made sense. You know, I thought it was the right decision for her.
Yeah.
I don't like that plot line very much though. I don't really think it was necessary. I'm a bit I'm okay with abortion, but I was like,
there's more to it. It's not just like you do it and then it's over. There's so much to it besides like there's the health side and then there's the like emotional side to it. There's so much that goes into like that decision alone. And although she has every right to make that decision for herself and like seeing her sister-in-law popping out babies left and right and knowing like that's not what she wants right now and like that balance, like it makes sense for their decisions, but it felt so unnecessary to the plot.
Yeah,
like it was just
100%.
there to later make her and Morrow not work out so that later she like could kill him. Like it wasn't needed. Fonda Lee does this thing in her books where she like mentions something like queerness and homophobia and then abortions, but doesn't talk about it. It's just in there, but there's no real conversation surrounding it, like any stance on it, no nuance. It's just there. And I'm like,
yeah.
Can we talk about it though? You're gonna
I didn't really like it either.
I don't think she wants to impose her opinion on anything. It's just presented like this is life. Life is fucking hard, and you're gonna have things that come up that are really difficult that make your experience as a human more challenging and hurts your heart more. You know, like without it, like we didn't necessarily need it for the plot, but like to see Shay go through something really difficult and how she prioritized the clan over her original dream. Honestly, actually, I think that's why it was there, because she left the clan. She could have done anything else. She could have had a family. She could have, you know, had her babies, whatever, and had a husband or whatever. But like now her priorities have changed so much that she chose to have an abortion. And I think that's why that was in the story, because you could see how Shay's character was evolving.
Yeah, it just, there wasn't enough emotion to the scene for me. Like she felt weird because Wen went with her and she's like, but you're having a kid, don't like you hate me for this? And Wen's like, no, you're making the decision that feels best for you. And I thought that was fine, but it was strange that she just didn't have more emotion besides, I'm doing this for my job, this is a lifestyle. And I'm like, do you feel sad about it? Are you upset? Are you happy? Like there was no emotional pinpoint. And that's my
She isn't the most emotional person though.
None of them are.
Because she's not allowed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see both sides of what you're both saying. They're both like really valid. It's a tough one.
I think in the nature of the writing style, there isn't as much detail in the emotional stuff. Because one, it's third person, and two, the book is already really, really long. It'd be like 10 books long if we dove into all the mental states and emotions of each character. It would just be impossible.
Yeah. That's just when I read like a character-driven book, I just want to know like what the character is thinking and feeling so that I can connect to them. And when that happened, I was like, I don't connect with you right now, and I should feel emotion from this.
That's fair. Not every book's for everyone, so
that's also true.
That doesn't work
it's like that's very fair.
Here's the thing: the book is fine, the characters are good, like the plot lines are good. It's just her writing style is not for me, and I have no problem admitting it because I enjoy the time, but I just the timeline bouncing around, the way that the characters are written, it's not my type of writing style, and that's quite okay.
Here, Rachel has
That's
something.
good because we need someone that doesn't just love the book in the discussion. You know, like
That's
if
what
you
I'm
weren't
here
here,
for.
it wouldn't be as good because we'd all just be like, I love this,
Oh my
and I love
God.
this, and I love this.
Yeah,
So we need
And
you
it-
here to be like, yeah, but this.
yeah, I agree. Rachel says it felt in character, honestly. The Shay decision, I assume you're talking about. It was written as a business decision, and that's exactly how it felt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Emily
I feel like
says-
she's very rational in her decision, and she's able to do that very quickly. Like when she
Mhm.
decided to kill Morrow.
Yeah, and it was
Like,
logical.
That one I felt
Very-
emotion from. That one I was like, she's giving me something right now. That was
But at
hard
the same
for her.
time, she's also very logical about it because she's standing in front of him upset, but she knows I have to be the one to kill him. Otherwise, it will be worse for him.
Yeah.
He will get tortured by Tar because he'll be devastated that he was involved in the murder of Ken. And Hilo, Ken's basically his brother, Hilo's going to torture him as well. Like, if I want this to go, as smoothly as possible to give this man a chance, to go out easily, I have to do it. And she didn't step up with the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's more development in her character.
Doru.
Man, me arguing Shade's case makes me love her so much more.
Forgot about Doru.
Ugh. Yeah, that guy, I'm glad he's gone.
I actually, like, when I started, I was like, oh yeah, he's still alive. God damn it. But then he died. And I was like, yay.
Yeah. Honestly, the whole country of Kekon is like, their cultural things, some of them are really unfortunate because everybody turned a blind eye to Doru's, or whatever his name is, bad behavior. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, when he
Yeah.
when they were having like some board meeting and these guys were like, Hila, you have to fire Shay. Like, she's got a bad reputation. No
Yeah.
one can trust her. And they were like, and he was like,
Yes!
but you allowed Doru to do the position and you had no issues
Because
there. And they
he's
were
an
like,
old man.
oh. It's fine if he's a
Mhm.
perv, I guess. It's like,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
He's a man. He can do what he wants.
Old
Right.
pervy man.
Old pervy men rights, okay? They need
I
their
object.
rights.
Okay, wait, I remember something because Sam, you had said that the mountain kind of keeps getting away with stuff and that No Peak can't get any wins. But when Shay had her discussion at the temple at the end of the book, she realized how much No Peak has actually been hurting them because Aunt Mada's coming to kind of brag and like posture and stuff, but it's only because she feels like she has to. She's like putting on a show. Because Shay's like, okay, Ott was forced to kill some high up people in her clan because of the whole thing Hilo set up with the rich guy on the boat trying to like overthrow her, right? So she killed that guy's like entire family, right? She had to sell that guy's company to foreigners and give foreigners more control of the mountain clan's biggest like profit maker. She broke Aisho because she killed the chancellor guy to try to like
but that's
pass
the
some
thing.
law.
She stopped every plan that they had. They were like, oh yeah, we've got this way in, we're gonna infiltrate. And she's like, no, I know your plan. Like, they weren't
she stopped
sneaky
it.
about it somehow. And I was like, how does she know all this so well?
She stopped it, but like she had to give up. She had to concede.
Yeah, there's
certain things.
sacrifice.
And then with the heir, like everybody wants her to pick an heir. She doesn't want to pick an heir. So she kind of has to make it look like she picked some unproven 12-year-old. They forced her hand on that, So they're taking the little hits. She's definitely outmaneuvering them by far. But at least they're getting a little bit of something.
Yeah, there's sacrifices to be had when you decide to like be on the offense or defense or offense, whatever sport terms are.
And we also don't see things from their perspective. So we don't really know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're plotting against her and she's going to, in the last book, you know what I mean? Like, we don't really know what's happening. But I think now they have an heir, she is.
Fuck.
She just needs to marry Shay and they can go run off and be together.
Well, they can marry and the clans will have
That's
to come
the Jade
together.
legacy. They build
And
their
they
own
will have a
empire
beautiful baby.
together.
Yeah, maybe that's why Ott doesn't have an heir because she's a secret lesbian lover.
I
It's
wouldn't
Shay.
blame
Rachel says Shay's original decision to even be a part of the clan was a response to trauma. True. And you continuously see her try to make logical / business decisions, almost trying to convince herself of her own choices.
That's a good point.
She's a really good character.
She really shines in this one.
And you see just how much like it takes over your life, and she's not allowed to do the things that she wants, and it's like heartbreaking because it's she has no choice, but also family is so important to them, and she still has that, and that's what ties Anne in as well, even though they have to sacrifice so much to be there because of the traditions and the pride, and it's like really hurtful. And then when Billy's like, I'm banishing you, which like I know like he went through a lot, but you just feel like for her because you're like, oh, she gave up so much for this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It like hurts. These books hurt so much because like
So
it's not just they're terrible because of this, because it's like, no, but family matters and tradition does matter, and it's like, who am I to say it doesn't? But it's like it's also bad because like they're all traumatized from it.
Yeah,
So,
it's very like, morally gray. Like there is no right answer when you're in these types of positions. Like you can't make the right decision when it's like, oh, there's so much going on, so much death, and just so much business and politics. So I get it, and I do think she deserves better.
I wonder how it's going to be in Jade Legacy, like how they're going to, as a country, evolve to be like hopefully less violent. Because again, like the outside world is looking at them like, you guys are savages. Like, what is this? And honestly, I blame Atmata because they were in peace. They were just chilling in their own little territories until she started being greedy, trying to like take over. You know, she is just plotting too much. She's doing too much. This is all her fault. All the deaths are on her hands. You know,
she's a good villain.
She is.
She is a very good villain.
You kind of love to hate her.
I know.
Yeah, right? Like you respect her, and I think that's a good villain.
Yeah, because she's like doing it all on her own.
You understand the motives. Yeah.
I do like though kind of that you don't see her point of view and her plotting because we see, you know, our side.
Yes.
Trying
we
so
still
hard,
get a glimpse
leaving so
of,
hard,
like,
and then also it's like, no, I've been ahead of you. I have all this money coming in.
Yeah. Every time we get like her horns perspective, and I'm like, why are we listening to the other side right now? I don't care. And then like she goes down, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
we lost that one.
Rachel's comment right here makes so much sense. This is a type of book that if it was written from the mountain's point of view, they could be written as a protagonist. That's so valid. Rachel, you're killing this discussion. Let me just say.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Imagine if they did like a Twilight thing where they write it from another person's perspective.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love that.
We want a book in her perspective, please.
What do you think her motivation?
Where she's just lusting after Shay the whole time. Everything she does
Stop
is Shay.
it.
I know.
Don't tease me like that.
Somebody write a fanfic.
Dead.
Fan
Trying to
fic.
kill Shay.
I'll write a fanfic of it. It's fine.
Who do you guys want?
That's her ordinance.
I don't know. This book is not really like romance heavy, but who do you want Shay to end up with? Or like,
well, I think Meredith and I are on the same page with that.
But I also like the older guy, but he got married, right?
Yeah, I kind of shipped that for a minute.
I ship that too. They can be a throuple. It's fine. They can both share Shay.
Yeah, if she's into it, I'm here for that.
She needs to give.
No, she needs to be the center. She needs to be the center. He was gonna worship her.
I'm sure that Poppy's wife would also love Shay. I'm sure Shay could be the center of their poly.
I mean, we all love Shay. In the first book, we were a bit like, she's okay. But now we're like, yes, I'll die for Shay.
Well, that's the thing. Like, who do we think the main character is going to be in the next book? Like, is it gonna be Nico as like the main character? Because the first one was Andon, this one's Shay. Like,
I didn't have that feeling of both of these books. That there was one main character. I felt like the whole
interesting.
The whole siblings is a character.
Yeah, no, for me it just felt like everything revolved around Shay.
This one?
Yeah, like
I guess there's always one that there's more of.
Yeah, there's just more perspectives of her. She was doing more things.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay, this comment right here. Rachel apparently is Reba, which is a person I know in real life from college who I haven't seen in many, many
Oh my
years.
god!
So thank you so much for joining. That's so funny.
That's
It's good to see
amazing.
you.
Hi, Reba.
She's a really, really smart,
so
cool
cool.
person. So,
Oh my
yeah, that's
gosh.
fun.
That's awesome.
Oh,
I don't think I know anyone in real life who has read this book. Like,
I probably don't either.
No.
it's a dense one. I would recommend it to my husband because he loves like
Yeah.
Asian inspired media. And I was like,
I told Austin he might like it, but then I was like, I don't know. It's a little slow with all the politics. He's
very slow. But
I'd be
he also
interested to
loves
hear
Lord of
what
the Rings, so I think he would like it.
I'd be interested to see what a male thinks of it, though.
Yeah.
You know,
I've been trying to tell people to read it. No one listens.
we're gonna make
That
it on
influence
Liam wouldn't
better.
read it though.
It is a commitment though, like committing to a whole series. That's
Yeah,
dense.
I love it.
Any other key points we want to talk about? Anybody in the comments? Reba, do you have any other key points you'd like to discuss?
Barrow.
with us?
We have
Barrow?
discussed Barrow.
Yes.
Oh, I totally forgot about this kid.
The
Oh.
cockroach.
What do you think is going to happen to Barrow in the next book?
I am
he's gonna
so
fuck it up.
interested to see. Yeah,
He's going to die in the
he's got
epilogue.
to have some big purpose, right?
I honestly,
He has a
Well, it'll be like the biggest blue balls if this boy does not do something.
I genuinely,
You know what I mean?
The epilogue started and I said, oh no, this is the start of his redemption arc. Oh no. And then at the end, he's like,
No.
I don't want to wear Jade. I've lost my life to Jade, but I do want to take down the clans. And I was like, okay, it's not, it's happening.
Yeah.
When
He's
he
so
said
stupid and lucky, you know. It's
So lucky.
when he said what did he say? He said, "Oh, I don't want to go near Jade. It's been giving me nothing but bad luck or something, right?" I was like, "Thank God." And then he's like, "But taking down the clan, I'm cool with that." I was like, "No."
I told Eliza the Jade legacy is Barrow. He's gonna take over and make one clan, and he's the Jade
Oh,
legacy.
he can do it. He's got the luck.
She's
behind
like,
him. He could do
get
it.
out, Meredith.
Emily
I'm
just says
interested to see
Sparrow.
what he's
I
gonna
imagine
do.
she says it disappointedly. Rose says, I think selling it to an Asian godfather would get men to read it. Oh, as an Asian godfather.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. That's what we'll tell people.
I love this book.
Reba says about how there wouldn't be any plot if Lan had just decided to punish the kid in the very first chapter. Oh, yeah.
He was like, nah, we'll save them. They're fine. They're just kids.
Oh my God! You know what?
No, Hilo was correct. You're stupid. Sorry, Leia.
There were like two.
I'm sorry.
There were a couple instances in this book where like Barrow got so much luck, like he was gonna kill himself, and then it was that the past green bones, the one with
The guy with no arms?
He was like, "No, I've seen people, in your shoes. Just don't do it, whatever." I was like, "Oh my God!" And then
Traitor.
Hilo, didn't Hilo talk to Barrow too? And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he recognized him," and I was
Yeah,
like,
he remembers.
"I was gonna kill you next time I saw you, but thanks for this. You're off the hook." And I was like, "What the fuck, Barrow? Why are you alive?"
He was this close to
Luckiest
dying.
bitch ever.
He was
He's
on
so
death's door.
lucky.
He's so lucky.
That neighbor sucks. That neighbor. I'm pissed.
All
Like,
right,
how does
his
someone that
character-
dumb live in this world?
His character is so important for us to get that perspective of like the underside, the smuggling,
Yeah, you're right.
the addicts.
Ooh.
It's a good perspective to see.
Mud.
Oh, Mutt, the way he
That
died.
dead? Oh, brutal.
That was
That was a
brutal too.
brutal
It's
death.
traumatizing. Oh my God. I had to set the book down after that. I was like,
Yeah, me too.
he really
I
is
like-
I
Daddy
didn't have
Hilo.
time.
Jesus.
I couldn't process anything that was happening. It was just, I have to get through this. And I was like, okay, that happened, and now we're moving on to something else.
I was like in the Discord or in the chat or whatever. Meredith and Daphne were like, "Oh my God, he's so crazy," and I was like, "I'm digging it."
I mean,
I felt so unhinged.
I
but
agree.
I liked it.
I agree. It's so brutal, but I was so here for it because that's what you come to expect from a book like this. Like, you want them to do unhinged deaths because they're gang leaders, and that's what
Yes.
happens. So it's like they're doing good. It's not just like
The
lame
only
deaths.
thing that I had
all
with
the
that
time.
was I was like, "Man, Hilo, this is your old Jade."
I know. Like, just use the jade you took off him, But the part where he showed the jade, that like what the kids were copying, right? I thought that was the scariest part. Not even like being buried alive, but like being buried alive and then being forced to go through the ditches and to die like that. I was like, oh my god,
Crazy, huh? Crazy.
It's too awful to think about.
Genius.
Yeah, I love how he was like, I don't want him to suffocate, so I'll put a little straw in there. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Just end. But I get it, torture is kind of their thing.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
But I forgot this last time because the first time I read Jade City, I remember thinking like this is meant to be about clans, but it was quite like peaceful, you know. But this book is so brutal, so it definitely like makes up for that. But I think that's because like so much of Jade City is about Lan, who is like the peaceful peacetime leader, which is why everything suffered because of it. But that's why we love him. Well, I do. But yeah, I remember thinking like they're meant to be clans and they're like so peaceful, but in this book you're like, oh yeah,
they go
They're
there.
gangs.
They're a gang, all right. Jesus.
Freaking insane. I'm just glad the guy with no arms, like in the beginning, I like cried over, like I highlighted that or whatever, because he decided to live and he was like,
Yeah.
you would have taken me out if I asked still. And he had
That
like
was sweet.
his like assistant monkey thing, like and then like when he was at the casino, he would use his deflect power to like open doors. I was like, look at him, he's still very able. You know? I love that.
Aww.
Emily says, why the F is he in every epilogue? He just keeps coming back.
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna be in the next book's epilogue, dying, hopefully.
Or
He's
at
gonna
the
be
top of the
thriving.
chain. Yeah.
With his top ring.
It's gonna be him like leaning over the entire clan, mountain and no peaks graveyard, just looking down.
He's the sole survivor.
Yep.
Emily says Lan would still be alive if Barrow had died in the beginning of Jade War. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely.
You mean Jade City?
I think she means.
I mean, if he didn't notice he was being followed, he wouldn't have gotten out of the car and like wandered to that water spot.
So I would have had like a heart attack though, or whatever.
Potentially, but
I
he was
think he
with
still
people.
probably would have died.
From
I
a
think
lot
he
of
could
it
have
was
gotten
his
to a
own.
hospital in time. Because
I
he
don't
was
know.
in a
Maybe,
vehicle
yeah.
with someone, and
It's hard
someone.
to say.
Yeah, if like there wasn't an ambush, I'm sure the driver would have been like, "You don't look good,"
Yeah.
and then could have potentially had time to get him somewhere.
He wouldn't have died that way, but he was kind of going downhill with his jade overdose thing.
I agree
Like,
with Eliza.
Or oversensitivity.
I think maybe he was the goner.
Yeah. Poor guy.
I know.
No, he didn't have to, but he had to put up a front because of this damn war.
No.
He was
That
just
was
too
his
much of
biggest
himself.
downfall.
He-
His pride was
too-
too much.
He could have
Too
opened that
prideful
damn
and too
letter. He
nice.
could have met his son.
Imagine how different it would have been if he opened the letter.
Yeah.
That would have been. Emily says R.I.P. Oh, God.
Don't do this to me,
Rita
Emily.
says, I just wanted to scream, he killed your brother. Yeah. Yeah, because he didn't know that because they think they took the killer out, which was Mutt, even though Mutt didn't even do it. Mutt was just like posturing. So I don't think.
But Mutt did also say like it wasn't just me. So maybe by the time Burrow shows around, they'll know who that is. Not be stupid.
Oh, Barrow.
Yeah.
Lucky guy.
Eliza's face.
I'm just like, no, because I'm trying to like put myself in his shoes. Like, I get it, but I hate you.
How far are you into Jade Legacy now?
I don't know. I think I'm in chapter 11 or something.
Okay, not too far.
Yeah, not too far, but things are happening more.
Yeah.
In the beginning, like.
You know what's so funny? I think you guys loved it and you're gonna go down as like more plot happens, whereas for me it's like it's just gonna get better. Like I was saying earlier on my vlog, I was like, Jade Legacy is gonna be 4 stars, maybe 5. Like I'm predicting.
I think I'm gonna love it. I think I'm.
A lot of people said they loved how it ended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But,
I've heard
it
it's like
is
one of the best endings ever in like this genre. I've heard amazing things. So
Really?
yeah.
Shit.
Like people compare it because apparently like the Mistborn is also really good, but people are like this is better.
Huh?
So when it comes to endings, because a lot of endings are like
Damn.
lackluster.
Shit.
yeah, but apparently Apparently this one's pretty good, so
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I'm
We'll
excited,
see.
but also emotionally terrified.
yeah,
we have
I'm
a
so
month.
scared.
He
I'm
rips my heart
scared.
out over and over again.
Like something
I've got the
already
audiobook,
happened
so I
that
want to
pissed me
start
off.
soon.
And says
Yeah,
Hilo finds out at some point in the next book that it was fair.
me too. Because you know Hilo will exact revenge.
Yeah.
Or he'll
Hilo's
kill
still
Hilo.
alive.
Yeah. Or his luck will continue on.
Don't say that.
He's a cockroach. He's going nowhere.
Who
Yeah.
do you guys think? Do you guys think any of the like Call siblings will die in the third one? I think
Yeah.
you
All
said, huh?
They're all dead.
I think
All
that
dead.
everybody's
Hilo
gonna
for
die.
Whether they die like in the book or of old age, they're all dead.
Hilo for sure though. He's gonna have a final.
Yeah, he's
death.
definitely
No.
Hilo's
He
too
is
green.
definitely dead. I'm sorry.
Hilo's too
He's
green to
dead.
have a peaceful death. It's impossible.
No.
He's gonna die.
He is dying.
I don't want him to die.
Like it's foreshadowed.
I mean,
it's foreshadowed in the way Ron died.
Yeah, there's like nothing but like assassination attempts on his life, and on I cannot with these names.
What a kid.
Woman, mountain pillar.
Shay's wife.
She's
I
like
Shay's wife.
Shay's wife. They've talked like she's mentioned how like no matter how the outcome happens, Hilo has to die, no matter what. Like there is no future with him alive. I just don't see it happening.
I don't know if I
I
can.
also
read
feel
it.
like his story's stagnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Lan's was stagnant. Lan's story was stagnant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hilo's now at that point, and it's going to be like probably Lan's son having his moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Like yeah, Shay and Wen. Okay, here's the thing.
can't.
We shouldn't jump siblings, but Shay and Wen could get together and be head of the No Peak. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
how dare you? We know who she belongs
He is
to.
next in
I agree.
line.
I agree. If anything's gonna happen though, I think that Wen would get put into like the weatherman position, and then Shay would be
Yeah,
Miller
she's been really
until the
involved
heirs
with it,
can.
and she's been studying in the background to help out.
Yeah.
You know, Hilo.
Until the heirs are old enough. I see
Whoa.
that happening.
I feel like you guys are right, but I don't want it to happen.
That would be really interesting. Like I don't want Hilo to die, but that would be really interesting to have all women leaders in the clan.
Oh, I just got shivers. I'm such a feminist. I'm like,
I know.
That would be so interesting.
I'd be
what do
here
we
for
think
it.
about the interludes? Because I don't really pay attention to them.
Yeah, I didn't
But
really
I
pay
feel like they
attention
have a
to them.
purpose.
I like them in
and I
the
need
first
to
book.
actually.
I kind of stopped caring in this one. I like the folklore of the island and like the legends and stuff because it gave me more of like that fantasy element that I've been wanting. And this one, it felt a little bit less exciting and fun because it was more present day stuff happening. And I was like,
I don't even
"Well,
remember
any of
any
the
of them.
interludes. I probably skipped them.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
never
even
pay
read them.
attention, but I'm.
They're like 2
I'm
pages
wondering
long.
if they're important. Like whether there's some predictions in there or like.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm gonna need to like go back over them. I think before I read Jade Legacy. I was gonna do it before the live show, but I'm lazy. So.
I think it was the second
But I'm just
interlude
wondering if.
that introduced Now and AU, that guy, and he's the horn for the mountain.
oh, that guy's so scary.
And he was in one of the interlude stories, and then he became a
Yes.
character with a perspective later on.
Yeah,
So
like is
I
he
wouldn't
really
be surprised.
Yeah. I
he's
just
old
don't know.
I don't know
right?
Do they
anyone's
have a
age.
purpose?
I
But I
remember
know,
reading
like,
that
for-
interlude, and then he showed up later. I was like, how old is he?
What happened in his interlude again? Like he was the one that like killed like an important person or something. I forget. But I remember I was scared. I was like, this man is scary. Like he can sense, you can perceive people's heart rate or whatever. He's like, you're lying. He killed
Yeah.
them. Like with the guys at the club. That was pretty badass. That was pretty
That was-
Oh, yes.
that was a moment.
I totally
And
forgot.
that kind of goes
about that.
again with like them being the protagonist. If we just read from their perspective, it's like, oh, they're trying to go against us. We're going to take them out. We would be cheering. You know what I mean?
Wait, did he kill all the people at the club? I
He
forgot.
All
killed-
but 2.
Yeah, he killed the main kid that was going to take over.
Yeah.
And then he killed, I think, 2 or 3 of his buddies. And then
3 buddies
they
that,
were lying.
yeah. And then he kept the 2 that he's like, I trust that you mean what you say, that you want to
Oh, yeah.
make
Just by
things right
sensing them.
again. And then went and killed the dad and the rest of the sons.
Oh yeah, Rose is like, doesn't Wen
That's true.
have brain
That's
damage? How can she be weatherman? I forgot about
That's
that.
a really good point.
We're
We
hoping
don't-
she gets better.
Yeah. Well, Jade Legacy is probably going to start
praying for
picking
her.
up for like 3 years because the timeline bounces around so much. So we'll pick up.
Did the
Jade
timeline
Legacy
bounce
years.
around in here, or was it just me?
No, it
I
bounced
don't
around.
think it bounces around. I just think it jumps forward a lot.
Jumps very suddenly, and there's not much.
Yeah.
I don't think it was done great, but it would be really hard to do it.
There's just so much
appreciate-
ground she wants to cover, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah,
that. Like
she
we
probably
saw
did a
3
good job.
years, but I didn't
Yeah.
love how like really big impactful scene, and then it broke, and it felt like we were carrying on with the scene, but it was actually like a year later, and I was like, wait, what was going on?
Yeah, they were a bit. You're like, oh, yeah, it's been 6 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I don't know how you could do that perfectly.
From when? From when and Andon got attacked to later? Is that a 6-month jump?
I don't think it was 6 months, but
Just
it was
throughout
it
the
was a
book.
significant
Yeah.
amount.
Just throughout
Like,
the book, there'd be scenes
yeah.
where it'd be
Yeah,
like,
because
it's
this
been
book
6
spans
months.
3
and you're
years.
like,
No, it's 5 years.
Is
And
it
in
5
my
years?
play
I
for
knew it was
5
between
years.
3 and 5. I was like, I don't know where at the end we are on the timeline, but it bounces around a lot.
Yeah.
Reva says he's a terrifying character. The Horn of the Mountain Clan. Yeah, he's a scary dude. And he's just so interesting too because he can keep his aura so low that they can barely perceive that he's there.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
That's like pretty cool.
it's got a lot of control.
Oh.
You know what? Now that you brought up Mistborn, it is kind of similar in that way because they're
In
talking
what
I
about
haven't
way?
like,
read it.
I haven't either.
Yeah, I
But-
just had heard.
yeah,
ending's
I didn't
really
make
good.
that connection because with using the Jade power, they're like, oh, I steeled against whatever, and they do that sort of stuff with their Mistborn powers too, but
It's
not
metals,
using Jade,
isn't it?
but they use like minerals and I don't know metals.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cool!
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh!
do need to read that.
It's on the TBR,
It-
I
it's
haven't
really
like
read
everything
that.
else.
Maybe I'll give it more time than separation from this series before I get into that one, so I can, don't
Yeah,
compare.
I'm actually excited to see what you do next.
yes, I'm excited too.
Yes.
Daphne's like, I'm not thinking about it.
I just want to acknowledge Reba's comment. She just says there's going to be lots of time jumps in Jade Legacy, so we have to get ready.
I've heard
I
that.
expect.
What is it going to be like 30 years or something? I feel like that's what
Isn't
Someone
there
said
like a
30
bunch of new
years.
generations?
Yeah,
Like,
probably. It's gonna be like any anime show or manga. It's like you've got your core cast, and then all of a
As
sudden there's this
kids.
random spin-off of their kids.
Oh, that's kind of cute though.
I'm really worried about Jade Legacy, guys.
You're the one that
just know
started it.
Hilo's gonna die and you'll be fine. Just go.
Everyone's gonna
Okay,
die.
I'll accept it. He's dead.
It's
Go into it
Kinda
thinking everyone will
guaranteed.
die.
yeah, and then you'll be happy when
Except for Barrow.
People survive.
maybe someone survives. Barrow will survive. There you go.
He'll survive.
You're fine.
No guarantee
God.
happily ever after here.
What if we get like a Barrow kid? The next one.
My goodness.
Maybe Barrow will die and his child will try to avenge him or something. Sorry, I'm like,
Just like
shaking the camera.
Mud
Yeah.
Boy's dad that he's avenging. Yeah.
Reba says she's currently reading it and she's been anxious the entire time. Oh,
I mean,
Reba,
they
what
just wrapped
chapter
high
are you
school.
on?
how far are you? Hi, Kelsey. Thank you for joining. We've been talking for about an hour and a half, so we'll see what other topics we want to brush up on. Let us know if there are any topics you want to talk about while you're here. Oh, you're not reading Jade War, but didn't want to be a lurker. Oh, I see. New fan of your channel and loving it. Currently reading Into the Drowning Deep. I've heard great things about Into the Drowning Deep, and thank you for being here. Okay, what other things do we want to touch on? Anything else that really popped out at you? We brushed over some big things. We didn't really go into like assassination, or we didn't really go into that gangster guy and how he was trying to take advantage of the black market and like the war and just all the outside countries really trying to be leeches on Kekka, the political
Politics.
side.
Yeah,
You
the
wanna talk
political stuff.
politics.
There's a reason why I brushed over this.
Yeah, I'm not as good with this stuff. Like I think it's done really well, but I also know that I haven't read a lot of stuff like this. So I can't really compare it to anything else, but I feel like it all makes sense. Like, it's just, I just read it and I'm like, that makes sense. Like, that's clever. I'm never
Yeah.
like, would that actually happen? Would people do that? But I'm like, of course they would do these things. Humans are greedy. They want to take advantage of this thing. They don't care that it's like a traditional thing that matters to these people. They want to get a piece of it. And when they can't do it legally, they're gonna do it illegally. It's just, and that's why Mata is so smart, because she's like, I've got to tap into this because it's going to happen either way. I may as well control it.
Yeah.
She is so smart.
And
yeah. So
she doesn't care much about like family ties, so she can do whatever.
No.
She is a greedy bitch.
Yeah. I think that it's always an interesting thing how Fond du Lee's writing it. So like the Call family is very family oriented, whereas the Mountain Clan, Mata's clan, is so anti-family, and just like having that juxtaposition. Thank you.
That's why if they had a novel in her point of view, and she's a protagonist, like, would I like her? I don't think so.
I don't know, but we would understand her motivations a little bit better.
Plus, reading from a villain is always fun.
Yeah. For me, the political things, maybe it was the Uawi Islands, but in the beginning, I was comparing it to some of the, like maybe like Jamaica or the Dominican Republic, where it's historically like a poorer country. They were controlled by an outside government for a long time. They just recently gained independence. Those are the types of places I was comparing it to. And then with the war with the territory, or whatever you pronounce it, that reminded me of kind of how Russia moves. You know what I mean? So like my best friend, when she was born, her city was a part of Ukraine, but then Russia was like, no, this is going to be ours. And they just like took it over. You know what I mean? And then they continue to do that with territories.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of reminds me of how Russia moves.
That's why I thought it was so interesting, because you can see all these things in real life, just like Babel, right? But yes, very dry, but very interesting. So I just went along with it.
Yeah, it was a lot. It took me a while to like get my head wrapped around like, where are these people? Why are they fighting? Why does it matter? How does this affect Kekon? But they just want to use Kekon's resources.
Which, like, I get it, because, again, it all comes down to, like, power and money.
Power.
And power. And so, like, that's the best way to do it. Yeah. Especially because it feels like Jade Legacy is setting up for a war, even though everyone's like, we don't want a war. It feels like that's where it's headed. Because at this point, there's been so much bloodshed, and laws are being broken now that they've just, like, gone back on any peace treaty that there ever was. So I feel like it's heading towards a war territory, and that's why like the setting up of alliances have been so important to the story.
And No Peace because of Shay is aligning with Espenia, sticking with Espenia, and Mata is aligning with Shotar. What is it? Shotar?
I know.
The
other one.
The ones where she's bringing people in from?
Yeah, that was
7,000.
That was clever. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm going to bring these refugees and then make them Mountain Clan people. Make them loyal to me. I was like, that's freaking genius. She's probably the smartest character by far.
She would be a mean player.
Who's also smart, huh? Shay.
Shay is also really smart. But Shay is playing catch up. The odds really like making first moves, I feel like.
She's still young. She's gonna get there.
She'll get there. She's younger. Ott's had a lot more time.
Ott's old.
Reba
but
says,
she's not too old.
Not too old at all.
Reba's on chapter 20, so she's a little ahead of you, Eliza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we talked about that, but we can bring it back again.
It was very heated.
We were angry.
I felt like I thought he was going to kidnap the kid, and I didn't think he was going to kill the woman, but I could see how he thought that was easier,
It was just like the swiftness of breaking the neck. I was like, okay, that happened really fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's like Hilo does a lot of bad things. I think that's the one that I dislike the most.
Yeah.
Let's have a poll. What's the worst thing that Hilo has done?
I show too.
Huh?
He broke Aisha for that too because she's not a green bone. He killed an innocent person. You know?
Yeah, I feel like Hilo just bends, those people who follows the rules when it benefits them or when, and breaks it whenever they want to.
He's
but-
unstable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Unhinged.
Emotionally
But-
unintelligent.
But he makes for great reading.
He does.
Like,
He's a good dad
Awful
for the
Scene
most
made
part.
me super angry, but it was so good. Like, I was like, this is so fucked up. Like,
But like,
it was so good, you know?
if
Even though
you
I
watched
hate
it on
but I'm
a
like,
show, the drama.
yeah,
Oh my god, the
like, it was so
drama.
good.
Yeah,
Yes,
he is
that's
a
why I
good
like
dad. I mean, he's still very protective of the people he loves, except for Shay.
They give Shay such
But
a hard
that's why
time.
he's good, because he's not just bad. Because,
He's
like, if he was
morally-
just bad, then we wouldn't be having these discussions.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
yeah,
like, well, he's just
Mhm.
trash. But he has these redeeming qualities. So it's like, he did this, but then he did that. And it's like, that's why it's so good.
I
Yeah.
still like
Though,
it.
like, I
It's
hate
well
him.
written.
That's why I'm so
like,
sad that he's dying
so
there.
complicated. Yeah, I normally love those characters, but I lean more towards I dislike him because he is just such a baby man child that just wants
Yeah,
to
he
be.
is a bit of a man child for sure.
But like, that's just me. Like, I mean, I love Lon, and he was pathetic and died. So
Yeah, and he was still daddy, so like it's fine.
How old was Lan, you
Everyone's
think, when he
different.
died? Was he in his late 30s?
I
'Cause
think
I think
a
he's-
bit older.
I think so. He's my age, guys. He's old, my age.
He was probably
I
at
think he
least
was
10 years
7.
older than, or something, right?
I
Something
think
like
he's 7 years older than Shay.
that. 7 years?
I think.
And Shay's like a year younger than Hilo. And I
You
think
guys,
Hilo
I'm
right now is
Lon,
like
and you guys
32.
are my siblings.
I thought Hilo was the youngest.
No,
Shay's
Shay's
the
the
youngest.
youngest.
Why did I think that? I'm such a
I
baby
feel like
man
they're like
child.
really close in age, so
Well, that's why I was confused because earlier, during I guess the second pregnancy, Hilo was visiting Andin to get like that political stuff happening, and he was like, "Well, it's going to be a girl because that's how our family works. It's a boy,
Yeah.
boy, girl. That's the pattern." But
Yeah.
if Nico wasn't their biological son, and they only had 2 biological kids, and she wasn't pregnant with a third like I thought she was, then factually wrong, dumb Hilo. Can't
Well,
do
if he
that.
never got Nico, then their second pregnancy would have been a boy. But Nico was already there.
I see.
so
The
she
gods
got
are
a girl.
making sure.
Don't question Hilo. His logic is clearly very sound. Okay, this
Very
book
smart
has
man,
proven
I'm so
that.
sorry.
Reba
God.
says, although later on, thinking about it, it does kind of remind you that ultimately these are essentially crime families. Yeah, you want to like root for them and think they're good people, but they're all
They all suck.
killers.
All bad.
Murder.
yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
And they train
We
their
love them
children to
anyway.
be killers. They put them in schools to be killers.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, duh.
It's pretty fucked.
It's pretty fucked up.
And the cycle continues. We're going to see it continue, I assume, in the next book.
Interestingly, though, speaking of the school again, it's the Lot character, the guy that Andon was crushing on in Jade City.
That's what I'm
He was-
wondering.
He was very critical of the Greenbone lifestyle. He was
Yeah.
in school, but now he's like, I don't know, like a stand-up fist. Like he's doing a lot
Yeah,
of good
and I think
work,
that's
like,
because Hilo really focused on him and really knew what to say to turn it around.
yeah.
And I was thinking if Andon was gonna come back and they were gonna like talk, but I didn't want to make it into like everything's about romance because obviously not.
Oh, that
Eliza,
was
everything is about romance.
Okay,
You're
okay.
correct.
Okay.
That's a romance that I definitely.
We were all thinking about it.
Okay. I just
We're
want
pretending
Andon
we
to be happy.
No.
I know, I'm the same. Poor little baby.
I hope
Yeah.
he's okay.
Just wanna
Like,
wrap
even
him up.
though he's gonna do like put on Jade again to do more like medical stuff to like help people.
Yeah, I'm
I
glad
thought
he's
it was
finding-
cool,
Yeah.
but also I'm still scared for him. I'm like, I don't want you to like become like your mother and like lose it.
Dr. Andy.
Yeah, there's still that risk. He's so sweet though, because that's still like really important. So
Yeah, and
maybe
I mean,
he's going to save some lives. Big
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah. He was seeing the Pillar's wife in Espenia, like healing people all the time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I guess he got inspired, and then saving Wen's life was like, actually, this is my calling.
Yeah.
Reba says, lots of perfect example of how these clans continue to stay in power. Because he hated it. He was like,
Manipulation.
this doesn't make sense. And then he went all in.
Indoctrination, yeah.
But Hilo's also a really good talker. Like, I love how they
He's
describe
very
him too.
charismatic.
He makes you feel special.
He does.
He makes all of you fawn over him, and he's terrible. Like, he's a manipulator.
Oh, you punched a woman? That's fine.
You're so cute.
You know what?
He just
I have
slapped
a
his
history.
sister. That's hot.
I have a history with forgiving bad men, man. I still
Oh,
love
yeah.
Chris Brown. I'm sorry.
I told you guys
I
in the group
love
chat.
Chris Brown.
I know
As long
that I have
as
good
it's
taste
just
in
in
men.
books.
Yeah, it's just
Like, if
a
it's just in
book.
books.
If this was in
But
person,
in real life, we would be
hell no.
worried. Yeah, we'd be worried about your
Oh,
safety. But
man.
if it's just book, it's fine.
Yeah. It's
So
fine.
no, I like how as his approach to being Pillar is still very like on the ground. You know what I mean? He's like, I need to talk to these people. That's why I need to fly out all the way to Espenia to talk to
yeah.
this guy. You know what I mean? Because that's where he, you know, shines. Is like when
Oh my
he's
gosh.
there
I
face to
kind of
face.
miss him as Horn. I really liked him as the Horn.
Ken did a pretty good
Yeah,
job
maybe
though.
he was better as that.
I mean, he's doing great as a Pillar though, because in comparison to Land, like he has a relationship with Shay and is very close to the Weatherman, and it's not like, yeah, Shay is technically going behind his back and like disobeying him, but he does have a better relationship with her, and he's more hands-on with the work, where he's reading all of the reports, which we never thought he would do because he was just so young and dumb and thrown into the position. And he's really close to his horns and the fingers, and is like constantly talking with them.
R.I.P. Horn.
But he just has really good reputation with people and cares a lot about the people that's close to him.
He does. He really, really cares.
Yeah. Like, I remember in the first book when he had to take over, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be a disaster. But I'm like really surprised how well
And then
he's
5
done,
years later,
considering
he's
how
so good.
unstable he is. Yeah. Like,
only
he's
for
actually
5
done
years.
really well. So you got to give him that.
Yeah,
No,
and also
I'm
he's
sure
doing
what he
well.
wants to really do is not what he does, because I'm
Yeah,
sure he
yeah,
wants to just burn and murder people left, right, and center.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
like with the gang guy, he wanted to like be like, just send 5 fingers, just barge into his estate or whatever and take him out. And she's like, no. We cannot do that. That will ruin our political stances. Like, we need to go about this more like in a smarter way, you know? And he steps back and he's like,
I just
okay, I've
love him
learned
so much.
I can't do that. You know. But he's still relatively young. I think he's still probably younger than Lan was when he died. And he didn't train for this. Like, he was never groomed to be the Pillar. So it's a really harsh learning curve.
But yeah, even like he likes it sounds bad, but he does enjoy like the killing side of being a Horn and stuff. But he does also know like how to deal the punishments, if you will. Like, it's not all just like gentle mercy kills. Like, he doesn't just kill all of them quick and easy, but sometimes he does if he understands like the crime that's been done. So it's not good killing people, but
he's a gang leader.
I liked when he was in the hospital with the kids, and Shay updated him about some change, like, you know, it's not going to happen the way we wanted. And he's like, this is my family. They're important. Let's do it another way. Call it off.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
And
Shay was like,
Shay's like, I hear you. Be right back.
BRB, bro.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen, but I hear you.
I hear you.
Reba says he felt some sort of loyalty or responsibility to them after his dad's death. What are we talking about? What is this a reference to? Do you know?
Hilo?
He felt some sort of
probably
loyalty.
Hilo.
Can you elaborate on that? I lost the plot on that one.
Lots.
Oh,
yeah, because Lot's dad died, and then at the graduation, Hilo's like, your dad was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that scene. Yeah.
Poor guy. Then she says Hilo does have a lot of political savvy, that kind that gets lost in the unhingedness of his behavior.
I love his unhingedness.
Find that in the dictionary. That's a fun one.
I love it.
I love it too.
Imagine being
When he's not
around
hitting
him.
women.
Like, It'd be awful. You'd just
Like-
be like on your toes the whole time.
Guys,
Or on your knees.
I didn't highlight.
True.
I mean,
Except me. But you guys, sure.
you know, here's the thing. If I was around him, I doubt I'd be seeing the bad things. I just
You'd be too
wouldn't
busy
see it.
looking at him under his buttons.
Sorry, I was looking at your boobs. I missed everything.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
The characters in this series are too hot to not make these jokes, you know?
I know, the
Like,
fan art.
she didn't have to make them all this hot.
Yeah.
She didn't have to, but she did. So
And the best part
Sure.
about books is that we can all envision him a
gosh.
little differently, and he's still just still really
You
hot.
guys sent the fan art in the Discord. That's why I'm thirsty.
To be honest, that
They're
does
all
not
hot.
help. They're so hot in that picture. It's like we have no choice now. Like
Yeah, I
if it's
didn't
a
know
picture
who
where
he
they
was.
were
And I was
ugly,
like, who
we'd
is
be like,
this man?
I love the fan art.
I know they're all so hot in it. So that's all you picture. It's like a Cassandra Clare book. Everyone's hot.
Are they?
Yeah, everyone's so beautiful in her books. Like
You can't have an ugly
there's not an ugly
protagonist.
person. There's not an ugly person in a Cassandra Clare book. They're all beautiful, even the bad people.
I feel like I don't see a lot of their fan art.
Really?
It's just the way she writes. Like I always pick up on like in her books. Anyway, we're not talking about her. Sorry to derail.
I don't read her, so
I promise there's no
But I
vodka
can
in
imagine.
this. I'm just
you can drink vodka. It's only the middle of the day.
Oh man, I just don't know what to expect in the next one. It's a chunky boy, guys.
It's
I
so
need
chunky
to
boy.
read it right now because Jade War, I stopped in the middle and I just like, I don't know. What's it called?
It's hard to want to pick back up.
Huh?
It's dense. It's hard to pick back up.
Yeah, so now that I'm on like a, what's it called?
You're on a run.
I'm on a run. That's why I just started the next one.
I see.
I'm gonna start like ASAP. I'm going away this weekend, but I think after that I'm just gonna binge the last
It's
book.
good.
It
It's
means
I
good.
have
that when
to
the
wait
live show
4
comes
weeks.
around, I won't remember a lot.
Don't worry, guys. My audiobook will get here in 4 weeks, and I'll tell you all about it.
Oh god.
Is it really
Which
4 weeks?
library?
Yeah.
Which library? Because it might be the one I'm on. Because I just got mine, so I do need to like.
I got my
Some of
audiobook.
them, some
Um,
of them you can only take 14
Oh.
days, which is really annoying.
it's ready to borrow. All of a sudden,
Oh.
Yeah.
4 weeks early.
Yeah.
Are you gonna borrow it now or are you going to
No.
borrow it later?
Yeah, wait, just
I'll
wait.
borrow it later because if I do it now, I have 14 days to read it, and then I won't.
Are you
Oh,
really
you're
gonna
gonna
borrow
force
it
it.
later? I was only kidding, but okay.
Yeah,
I
I'll
would
just
wait.
have it delivered in 2 weeks.
That way it's a little more fresh.
Yeah. 2 weeks. And everyone, if you're watching, the live show is going to be hopefully, potentially, probably August 10th, I think we decided.
Yeah.
Thank you for the shout out, Sam. I was gonna do it too, but look at you already.
Of course.
Yes,
So
I put
we've
it
got
on the
plenty of
calendar
time.
for the 10.
Yeah, so
August.
there's a lot of time still to read it. So if my audiobook
I'm
comes
watching
in 2
my
weeks, I'll be
chapter
fine.
headings nowadays to make
Yes.
sure I'm on track.
Make sure you don't skip a big chunk. Oh.
I've never had that issue with Libby.
Mine jumped as well though, but I was reading along, so I noticed it.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, mine did it as well, but yeah, because I was like, that's not what this chapter's called.
Did you fall
Yeah,
and then I
asleep
read
during
past.
it? Maybe that's why it skipped, because I've done that.
Weird,
I've
No,
definitely
like I
fallen
was
asleep.
reading. I was
That's so
reading and I
weird.
turned the page and then
huh?
it paused for a bit and then it was like chapter blah blah blah. You know how they all have like lame titles.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
the one that was like green as fuck? I was like,
What?
Some of
Okay,
them were a
well.
little weird.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, some of them were a bit strange, and I was like, "What's
I'm not a fan of
okay?"
chapter titles.
I like
I
it. in
like
this
that.
one.
I like them.
Yeah.
I once
Kind of know what to
was-
expect.
And then I read a book, and it was like the chapter title, and the chapter title was the first sentence as well. And then it was said
Oh.
again later, and I was like, okay, too many times. Give me the
That's
title,
annoying, yeah.
and then leave it at that. Don't tell me that same phrase again in the story. I
Yeah,
get it.
that's bad.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? We've been going for almost 2 hours.
I feel like I'm already sad about Hilo's death, guys.
It hasn't even happened.
Everybody dies. It's fine.
Oh, we've traumatized you.
He's not his own.
He may not even die. This is just what we're saying.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he dies. Everything you're saying makes sense.
He might not. There's
sense.
hope. I mean, what does she do? She's unpredictable. Well, not for Sam, because Sam's really smart. But for the rest of us, she's really unpredictable. So, like, we all think he's going to die, so maybe he won't.
It just depends on, is he going to die before Atmata dies? Let's hope
Yes.
he dies first.
She's not going to die.
I think I'm just gonna read
Daphne
it.
and Shay are living happily ever after in a cottage
Definitely not.
somewhere.
And
Sheep
Andon
and
visits
cattle.
often. They adopted him.
Yeah, and they're gonna milk
do
the
you guys-
cow and live off the land, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
What are you saying,
They've got a
Elijah?
stupid supply of
I
jade.
was just gonna ask, what do you guys want to happen in the third book?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, that's a good question.
Chaos.
I don't even
Pure
know. I haven't
destruction.
thought about what I want.
I just know it's going to hurt me. So, and I don't want it to be too easy. Otherwise, that's boring.
I
I
want
want a
Bear
lot
to
of
die.
action.
We
I
don't
want
know
see-
what you're gonna say.
I
Priorities.
want one to get better.
Yeah.
I want to see like the Jade really fuck shit up. Like I want to see it in full action and like see it be used in different ways and not just like be told like, oh, they pushed them away. Like,
Yeah,
I want
right?
so much more from the Jade.
Yeah, you're right.
I want Atmata to die.
I don't know if I want her to die as much as I want Bear to die.
She's gonna get a redemption arc.
Yeah, right?
No.
Like,
No redemption.
She's doing what she
They
is
can
doing for
forgive.
her plan.
I want No Peak to be the one clan. That's what I want.
Wow, Daphne like really likes the protagonist.
I don't know if I want there to be a one clan.
I don't know what I want.
There,
with
there
that.
has to be. It's impossible. Unless they replace
think-
Atmata.
I think the clans that probably will be nothing by the end. Like I think there will potentially be a war or something, and the government's gonna be like, no, we're gonna lock down Jade. We're gonna be like the other countries basically, and make it so Jade is slowly illegal and harder, and kind of pushes them out from that lifestyle. I wouldn't be surprised.
Whoa.
I have no idea. What's
That would be
going on.
interesting. I'd be interested to see how Stone Eye people and the Aboriginal people could come on the rise. I would like to see them move up in society,
Mm.
you know, because they've been like shit on. I just want them to get a win. They're just being used.
Yeah.
I want the
I
gays to
want-
uprise.
I hope the kids stay friends.
The kids stay friends.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
I
interested
think
to
they're gonna take
see.
over the storyline if it's gonna be a big jump.
I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Lan's child.
Nico?
You know, I'm interested
'cause
to see what they're going to do
yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and if he's going to have like the morals of his dad,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
or they're going to bash that out of him.
Oh, that's so sad. That's a sad way to look at it.
Yeah. Because I'm just like the soft person that loves soft characters. I'm like, I want part of his dad to be in him.
So sad.
He'll probably die if it is, but
No.
I always like when there's a
Take care of
really awful world, but there's still somehow someone that keeps their morals and is a good person.
Oh,
Maybe
Which is why I
Brandon.
think I just prefer Jade City, because I liked that exploration, but everyone in this is a bit like
Dark.
Andon too, but he's, I don't know, doesn't hit quite as hard as Lan did.
Yeah,
I was-
Andon's like, I'm so down with killing someone. I'm not even like thinking twice about it.
His Lan was like, no, I'll give people a second chance, and he's like, can I be a good leader if I'm a good person?
Yeah.
I really liked that. I think because that wasn't in this, maybe that's why I didn't have as much of a like, I'm just too much of a softie. Hard ass.
oh man.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like if that's gonna come through his kid.
I'm gonna, after we end this live, I'm just gonna jump back in again. I'm so stressed. I just need to see it through right
I
now.
know. I'm like annoyed. My friend's has come down this weekend. I'm like, can she just go back so I can read this book? Oh, we'll come back next week.
That's so
I
funny.
haven't seen you in ages, but
That's
She'll come
I
over
have-
and look, I just
I
want
have 2 books I need to read for book clubs before I can get to this one.
I have so much to read. I took a week off of reading and I'm so behind. So I'm gonna read like 7,000 things because it's Summerween this weekend.
What is
So-
Summerween? Is it like a horror thriller readathon?
It used to be. The whole purpose is like Halloween celebrated in summer, but they've kind of made it so that the prompts are really vague and you don't really have to read horror thrillers anymore, and you can read anything and participate. But they primarily try to focus on mystery, thriller, horror.
Is that this weekend?
Yes, 7th through the 10th.
Yes, I'm gonna read the only one left. It's so funny because as soon as 4th of July ended, my husband's like, all right, it's Halloween time. What do you want to watch tonight? And we started watching horror movies last night.
I love that.
I'm
fell
so
asleep.
sad. It's not really a thing here.
Oh, I know. I love
Yeah.
It's the only good thing about America.
I know, right?
We don't have a lot going. We don't have a lot going.
No,
on.
you're-
By the way,
right.
I mean, I
Just
didn't want to
Halloween.
say this, but I'll let you guys know. I bought the Australian version of Fourth Wing. And
There's an Australian version.
Is it pretty?
it's
Is it
Australian or
like
New
one
Zealand.
of the dragons holding a beer?
It's not even that different, and I almost like talked myself out of it, like I didn't need it.
Mhm.
And then someone was like,
You do
"Oh,
need it.
it decreased in price today," and I was like, "Sold."
You need it.
How many copies do you have at this point?
I don't even know, but for Iron Flame, I have 3.
Sheesh. Oh my gosh, I can't get the Waterstones edition.
4 actually, 4.
I'm so upset.
Do you
Just
keep
want
all
the
your
stencil edges.
duplicates in the same spot on your shelves, or do you space them out?
Space what out?
Your editions. You have 5 editions of Fourth Wing. Are they all next to each other, or do you like this is the
I
special
honestly
edition?
don't
this
know
is the
where
one-
they are.
You don't know where
They're
they are.
downstairs or something.
Too many books, Eliza.
I don't know.
We love you, Eliza.
If we're gonna come back to Eliza in 20 years, and we're gonna need to put her on hoarder, she's gonna be buried in books.
I don't keep my special editions together because I have the rainbow shelves, and so
Well,
I separate
my
my
book-
special editions often.
I'm trying to put all my special editions in my book room that I'm working on, but right now they're just downstairs on a pile, and I'm
Yeah.
getting very overwhelmed.
Yeah, I think
I
I
don't
put
have
them on
any
a
special editions.
I don't have a single special edition.
That's
I
fine.
don't have one.
Welcome to my
Don't
shelves.
start.
That's it.
Hi, I'm
But you can like
That's what you've been saying.
you can get the Fourth Wing special editions here. We have these like big chain outlet stores that sell books cheap, and they had pre-order for. You had to get the first one again, and then the second one for like I think it was $40 AUD, so that's like $20 in your money. Sort of.
Okay.
But they're like,
Yeah,
if
Really cheap.
$20
we were to go to
special
buy
edition.
that, it would be like $50. So
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Because it's done through the publisher, isn't it, right? Whereas a lot of the time it's through these like little businesses. That's why you don't get them because it's not
because
done
no one
here.
wants to ship.
Damn.
Yeah, like Fairy Loot, Owlcrate, all of that. Like it's
Oh.
ridiculous shipping. But because it's through the publisher, so that's really cool. So like heaps of like the Aussies I know that love Fourth Wing have like pre-ordered it, which is
That's
really
nice.
cool. I'm like so
Yeah.
happy for them. I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. But I
know.
guess it's not as rare anymore, which is a part of special editions is the rarity. Whereas there's
Yeah.
probably more of these. I don't know.
Yeah, people get weird about that sometimes where they're like, I got a special edition from Owlcrate. How dare Owlcrate sell it on their store? And it's like,
Oh, that's weird.
this doesn't matter. Like they have overstock. Let them.
I'd rather
It's
buy
a book.
special editions that way where I know what I'm getting versus the surprise. Like I like the unboxings. It's
Yeah.
fun to watch, but like
Yeah.
Yeah,
risk, I don't like the risk.
those.
I like both things. I like them all.
Yeah, it's fun to unbox them, but sometimes like Illumicrate lately, I haven't really enjoyed the picks, and so it's like I have pretty special editions of books I don't really want to read.
Yeah.
I
that's
want to
the
read
hard part.
them, but I don't want to touch them.
That's
I
awesome.
do actually.
That's okay. Like I probably wouldn't read them. I would just like leave them pretty on my shelves. And I'm like, over time, if I ever need money, I'll just sell them. It'd be nice to have that financial security. Like some people are probably sitting on gold mines. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
god, yeah. No, this room costs more than any other room in this house,
Oh,
and we have a game
I
room next door.
totally
Do
believe
you
that.
have it in your insurance, like your books?
Yes.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
smart.
Because Liam's into Magic the Gathering, and if you don't know, that's like really expensive. Like it's one of those things where you get rare cards, So
Mhm.
I was like, you need to count how much money is in this and you need to put it on the insurance.
Yeah, we don't have to do it that extensively. We just kind of have like a vague list of like we have X TVs and X this that.
Ooh, I need to
Like
So it's not like
renter's
super
insurance?
in depth.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear. Because like I know
Oh,
I have
fireworks.
friends that have like, oh my gosh. But they have like $30,000 worth of magic cards.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Wow.
So they put it
What?
in their
That's
insurance.
a car.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
interesting.
I get it. Hobbies are so expensive, but they're so fun.
That one is especially, which sucks because it's like a game, but you suck at it if you don't have money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
a lot
like
of
one of
paywalls.
those things. Which I guess this whole like book collecting thing is like that. Like if you don't have money, you don't get to have the special
special
ones, and then if you don't live in like those countries, you don't get them.
Yeah.
But I don't play into it much, so it doesn't really worry me. But I know like a lot of Australians get upset about it. So
Aw, so
Yeah.
sad.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Move
but that's
to America.
Yeah,
Another
right.
For
day.
special editions
That's
and
what you guys
Halloween.
have. We don't. Exactly. What else more would you like? You know? I'm sorry. Australia
Tolerate
sucks
gun
too.
violence
Hi.
for books.
My name is Sam.
I
I,
think
live in
New
America.
Zealand
I
is
hate
where it's
America.
Yeah, I think New Zealand is where it's at.
I would love.
Honestly, I think that's where we all need to move. New
It'd be
Zealand.
so hard to
Humans.
move there for us, though. I don't like Americans.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't blame them, but nobody
Yeah.
wants to take Americans.
so sad. We suck.
Wasn't there one country that was like
Guys are
paying people to
lovely.
move there? I forget which one it is.
Really? Wow.
Okay. I'm excited for Jade Legacy. What do you think we should do after? I don't know. I'm not gonna rope you guys into any commitments, but I know Eliza was asking me, what are you gonna
I'm
do
roped in.
Yeah,
next?
no,
Okay.
on the live or not, I will be roped in.
Yeah.
Dang friends,
It'd be
have
cool
to
if you
support
asked
them.
some different people though, like had
Yes,
different
yes,
booktubers. But I'll be like participating in the comments. I'm not like
Yes,
you
I'll
need
be-
to have me on screen.
yes. No, I'll be
I'll be participating
participating
in the comments.
anywhere.
Oh yeah. That's what
Yeah,
I
you
mean.
should ask different
Yeah,
people.
I'm reading all your books
Yeah.
that you pick.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Unless
You
it's
know
something
what
I've
I
already
mean?
read.
What we want to do next? I'm thinking maybe we take a interlude from the trauma books and read something fun.
A little life.
Like a,
Oh God.
God. But like maybe a standalone and
Yeah, standalone.
do something a bit lighter.
Like romance or I don't know. Just
Yeah.
easier.
Maybe you can have like a little channel thing for people to put in
Like
Rex.
a poll.
Or
Yeah.
the
Yeah, that's a
comments
good
of this
idea.
video. If you're watching this in the
Yeah.
future, hi. Thanks for making it to the end of our rambles. If you have suggestions for book club books, link them in the comments. If you've also got ideas, you can put them in our Discord.
For sure. I think I'll probably ask the Discord first because those people join with the,
They're
they're a little,
active, yeah.
they've taken extra steps. So I'll ask them first.
Yeah, put in a
Yeah.
Discord, like a little Rex section.
Yeah.
I think the main
That's
thing
great.
to think about is accessibility with book clubs.
True.
Because like if people can't get access to it, they won't be able to join. Like Jade City was a really good one because that's like everywhere. It's pretty cheap.
Popular, yeah.
Because
Oh.
sometimes people pick a book that's like really obscure and like really expensive.
Really?
Brand
People
new.
can't join.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think that's the only thing that's important.
Yeah, I feel like Kayla, she does literally Dead Book Club, and she tries to get like a good mix of backlist books that people have easy access to and new books
Yeah.
that not everyone is going to be able to participate in. And so she tries to balance it.
I'm excited to
Yeah.
see what you pick.
Yeah, and I know the
Yeah,
romance
yeah.
girlies tend to do books that are on KU just because a lot of people already subscribe to KU.
Damn, I'm like the
Mhm.
only
Yeah,
one
that's
who
a good
does not
one.
have KU.
Liza,
Get
you
on it. You would never pick a
would
physical
save
book
so
again.
much floor space. You had KU.
You need to read the books that you've bought physically, I think. So it's
I
probably
know.
good
That's
you
why I haven't gotten KU.
Because when you
but
have
also-
KU, all you do is read KU and your
yeah.
books
Yeah.
never get read.
I will
Yeah,
say,
oh
I have KU and I've only read 11, and I've had it for like 3 months. So
Love is
it
pretty
hasn't
good.
taken
Pretty
over my
good,
whole
though.
life. Yeah. I'm reading enough, but it's not like
Yeah.
I'm always just reading stuff. off
I
of
think
it.
to get your money's worth, you got to read like 2.5 books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just use it to get cheap audiobooks. That's literally
Too much
all I
pressure
use it
for
for.
me.
Really?
And I
don't-
listen to a lot of audiobooks. Yeah, because
have to audio.
if you get a book out on Kindle Unlimited, you can then get the audiobook for like $2. It's probably cheaper for you because it's Australian dollars, like
Oh,
$2
I
to
didn't know
$3.
that.
Oh.
Not always. And sometimes when you do it, it'll come up as full price. But then if you refresh, it then goes down to like $2.
Interesting. So you're just doing it on your phone app then, and then it gives you that option. Interesting.
And then you just own the audiobook for like $2. Whereas if you just don't
Use
own
Audible.
Audible,
Audiobooks can be really
15.
expensive.
Because honestly,
I hate
I need to
buying
read She Who
audiobooks.
Became the Sun, and I'm like, I'm running out of time. I would love to get the audio, but I can't find it at the
It's on
library
Scribd.
anywhere.
It's on Scribd.
Okay, I just downloaded Script for the trial.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
I
on
think I'm gonna
Scribd.
get rid of Scribd. I'm like, not
How much is
using it.
Scribd?
Can you
$12 a month.
And that's just mainly audiobooks. That's
All audiobooks and ebooks. And you get like a 10 to 15 a month depending on what you pick
I
up.
don't have it on my Script unless I don't know how to use the app. Do you see it on yours?
Oh no, did I lie? I might have lied. But yeah, I have
Sometimes
2
they're there and
Scribd
they
accounts.
disappear.
Yeah, I feel bad for my unread books. This is my unread section right here.
Yeah, you got to make it like read 15 before buy. What happened to your 5 before buy?
She gave up.
I mean, from March onwards, it was buy before you try reading it.
Oh, Eliza, you did okay. You did it
You were
like
doing
4 or
good,
5
yeah.
times though, right? Yeah.
And then you read Fourth Wing and it went downhill because you were like, I love books right now. Which, that's a part of book
I'm bringing
collecting.
it back though. I have some like loopholes.
Loopholes.
I often don't
Another
count
point.
pre-orders. Book buying bans often for me don't include my pre-orders. So it's just books.
Oh yeah, of course. That's why I pre-ordered a bunch before this month. Oh my god.
Oh dear.
But it is slowing down though. I do feel the craze going down, and I went to the library today and it was great.
Okay, Daphne, I totally lied. It's just the ebook. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I had it from Hoopla, I think.
I'll check on Kindle Unlimited to see if I can do it that way.
Is it not on Libby?
Not on my Libby. I haven't downloaded all the other library cards, but
We have Queens, yeah. You have Queens and New York?
I just have to put a Queens address. They didn't check for an ID because in Manhattan they checked my ID.
I have a New York and a Queens.
Let me pull that up.
It's available right now on the New Orleans Public Library, so I recommend that. The New Orleans Library, I'm telling you, they have the most copies of books, almost always instant borrows. That's the best one.
They're the ones that you can only have it 14 days, right? So that's probably why.
Yeah.
You can't hold it for ages.
Yeah, the 14 days bothers me so much, but I'll take it because
I'm like, but that's why it's available, Meredith, because people can't hoard it for 21 days.
Yep. Yeah, no, I only have one
Because I
library.
do that all the time. It'll be
Oregon
like
is the
5
only
people
library
waiting.
that lets me do one for 21 days. That's the only one. The rest of them are all 14. It sucks.
Oh, really? All of my Australian ones are.
I'm just gonna have to read it with my
Because
eyeballs.
Australians don't read.
I'm gonna think of some recs tonight. I'm excited for your next round of books, Daphne.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll put a poll for sure. But let's end the live. So thank you for everyone that was here chatting with us, participating. Anybody that's watching this back later, definitely still comment your thoughts on the book. I'll be reading the comments after the fact. Thank you for my fabulous co-hosts for reading with me. We're going to have the live show for Jade Legacy August 10th. So definitely get to reading if you want to comment live with us. And a special shout out to my old friend Ariba for jumping in. She added such great discussion to our little book club.
I always love non-book reviewers doing better at reviewing books than us reviewers. Like, okay, well.
So I'm going to leave it. Let's say bye and I'll end it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night.